Yo, 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 yo. Welcome, 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 welcome. This, of course, is the complicated Chelsea show. Um, this is a show of not proper Chelsea fans. We do not come from West London and we're black. So, any kind of misconceptions you may have of what you believe this show is about, we beg for you to sort of, look at it in a different sense. So, guys, this is going to be an interesting show. And why do I say this? I say it's going to be an interesting show because this may be a show where certain apologies need to be made, certain revelations need to be made, and certain questions need to be asked about a certain player. So I come to you guys as a free man who is freely here to try and give his best and most truthful assessment. So remember, guys, follow all of us on Twitter in the description box below. Follow us on Twitter. Our links are in the description box below. And also try and hook up to our Patreon as well. Support us on Patreon and follow us on Twitter. Links are below in the description box. Support the most truthful Chelsea discussion show on the planet. So there's only one place to start. There's only one place to start. Wait. Did we do the West Brom? Oh, we didn't.
How could we? It was Saturday.
Let's start with West Brom. So that's actually
we're gonna go Champions League.
Yeah. That's actually a great place to start. For me, I think that sometimes in life, being invincible isn't the best thing to be. Now that doesn't apply to Floyd Mayweather because he was invincible and the guy's doing all right. But sometimes, you need to get beaten to sort of come back stronger and put your feet back down to earth. And you look at that West Brom game, and people will ask themselves that, okay, Tuchel, should you have brought on Christensen? Should you have gone for a back four? Should you have just maintained the attack? Why didn't you keep the ball a lot more? Why didn't you maintain possession? And how could the defense be so much at sea because you're a man down? Because at the end of the day, there was no excuse to concede 5 goals or because you had a man down. So I think that loss you have to put down on Thomas Tuchel. Yes, you have to look at Joe Junior. Yes, you have to look at the defense who made several defensive mistakes. But I think when you go down to 10 men and so forth, you need leadership. Because that's now a structural thing. And when it comes to structure and the blueprints, that's the manager. Me as a player, I'm only one man. I don't see the blueprints. All I do is my role and my one role on the pitch. But with regards to how the team should function, that comes from the manager saying, okay, guys, we're a man down. This is how the unit as a whole has to set up. And there was a lack of direction or leadership in that, and shout out to your boy Sam Allardyce, he took advantage of that. Because I want Timo Werner to be a separate topic, because he's going to be a topic in and of itself. I saw that expression. Okay. Actually, that's the same expression. What's the name of that Eddie Murphy movie that you remember? Distinguished Gentleman.
Yeah.
Remember, towards the, when it's like he's in the courtroom, and then they start reading the facts, all of his crimes that he's done as well. Okay, so Daniel, man, I mean, what do you assess? What did you take from that West Brom?
Let me go before Daniel.
Please.
I said Daniel. Why do you want to go? Let's be cordial here. Let's be cordial. Okay, then. Okay, you can go then.
What are you eating, by the way?
I'm eating jollof rice.
Nice, man. Save me some, man. Save me some.
Good.
The West Brom match I've been expecting us to lose for a very long time. But the way we lose that match...
You expected the loss?
Yeah, you know why? Because then some proper Chelsea fan will come in and say, is because of Lampard this, Lampard that. Lampard so have this kind of runs, so he didn't lose. So he lost, it was sacked. So if Tuchel lost, will he get sacked also? I was like, yes, let him lose. I want to see the reaction of the players, the mentality of the player, and the mentality of the team. Because if you don't lose, we will know how good it. Because I've been saying this thing for ever since Tuchel took over. We will win matches and we will lose. It's all about how we react as a team. So we lost against West Brom. I am not surprised, but I am so angry. Why am I angry? Because firstly, I'm angry with Tuchel. That's my number one. Because he made a dumb decision. Yes, every manager could be criticized for the decision they made. But Tuchel made a dumb decision in that West Brom matches, which kind of pissed me off and get me so angry. And the second one is, if any Chelsea fans ever blame Thiago Silva for that loss, they are all stupid. Because Jorginho should be blamed for that idiot he does. How on earth are you going to be doing a Rabona in the defense? And you know West Brom is going to target, and you're doing a Rabona. And are you like Ronaldinho or Neymar? What the hell is going on with him? If the team want to be built around him, I can get that, but you're going to be doing a Rabona? Get out of here, man. That's bullshit. So I can understand the team wants to be good around Jorginho. I can get that. But it doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't. Because we blame players if they make mistake. Yes, we blame them. We have to criticize managers and players if they make a dumb decision or mistake. But that can't keep going on. Because the first half was like, I was looking at it, I was like, what the hell is going on? And I keep saying it to Tuchel. I can understand the international break. Why will you be playing Kurt Zuma in a back three? That guy does not work. We have seen this. It doesn't work in a back three. Why on earth are you going to be playing him in a back three? Why? When you have Rudiger and Andreas Christensen on the bench,
who is the main person to blame? Who is the main person that you put to blame?
I blame Tuchel for that match, and I also blame those players too. For me, it's 50-50. I'm not going to be like, this is 50-50 because Tuchel made mistake in the lineup. He knows. Because after the post match,
so what should he have done when Chelsea went down a man down? What should he have done instead?
What he has done is, I can understand he wants to play a back four, but you don't make that decision. You bring on, we got a red card. You brought on Christensen and you took off Hakim Ziyech. What is Timo Werner doing on that pitch? Can someone tell me what Limo Werner doing on that pitch at the West Brom album? I want to know, please.
Daniel, it's not funny, please.
I want to know what is Limo Werner doing in that pitch when you have taken out a creative player in Hakim Ziyech and you kept.
He's earning his wage. He's earning his wage.
What kind of wages is that?
His wage. He's earning his wage.
No. What's wages? That's kind of pissing me off because if I don't take a player, it should have been Limo Werner. Get him out of that pitch. Get him out because it doesn't even deserve to play that much at all. It doesn't. So I blame Tuchel 50-50, and I also blame the players too because it's all about mentality. It's all about mentality. Have that mentality as a team to come out and play. This is West Bromwich Albion, 19th team beating us 5-2 at home. That's stupid and ridiculous. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't.
All right, Daniel, man, talk to me, man.
You would expect a team that goes down to 10 men.
I don't know. I just love the contrast of how you just have like you just like boom boom, and then whenever it's you always go like, so how can I word this? The right words, you know. But I just like how you just sort of like take a moment just to sort of like extrapolate words from the ether.
Extrapolate words from the ether. I like that. Yeah, I would expect a team that plays with 10 men. Like the first thing you would want is just be smart. You know, like they were already winning 1-0. Just be smart. And Tuchel, I suppose, I mean, we talked about this on the other show, but I maybe would have liked to see Tuchel be a little bit more aggressive when Silva gets sent off. Like, don't take off Ziyech. Maybe just bring on like a striker and move Werner out wide, or just try something different, like a variation. But he did it.
Okay, so who were the defenders that started then?
Aspilicueta, Zuma, and Silva.
Okay.
And then Silva went off, and then he brought on Christensen.
Okay. Because he wanted to maintain that instead of
like I don't know why you need a back three or a back five against West Brom to even start with. and again, maybe you want the continuity for the Porto game because you know that's the system you're going to play. So don't put something in new like 2 days, 3 days before you play them. But yeah, I wasn't convinced with the system. And then when Silva went off, I was like, okay, so if you take off Ziyech and you bring on a central defender, you're inviting West Brom pressure, and West Brom aren't a team that's trying to dominate the game. They just want a point if they can get it. Which just means counterattack after counterattack. And then once he brought on Christensen, West Brom just kind of dominated the game from there because Chelsea had no outlet. And you're playing with Timo Werner up top, not a Giroud or a Tammy who can maybe try to hold up the ball and bring their midfielders and other guys into the game. So, yeah, it was a bloodbath after that. That said, again, I don't think there should really be an excuse to lose 5-2 to West Brom, because again, you have to be smart, and they weren't. I do think, as you kind of pointed out, though, I do think it was a benefit going into the week, though. Like, that loss was probably a good thing, and it ended up being that. So,
I mean, do you find it's problematic that? Because, I mean, is it me or has Tammy Abraham just been totally frozen out?
Well, it's injuries plus. I don't know. I don't think Tuchel's convinced with him. So
you don't think he's convinced with him?
I think it's both of those things. He's had injuries, and even when he was fit, it's not like he was firing at all cylinders or anything like that. So Tuchel's obviously. I don't know what Tuchel's thing is with Werner. I actually don't, and I know we're trying to save that one, but even Giroud, I think, deserves more chances in the team.
1,000%.
But maybe it's an idea of like you're trying to find. Your mind is already outside of the group, given like the rumors and speculation that we've seen that he wants to go to Inter Milan or he wants to go to America or wherever it is. So maybe it's a case of I want to play players who want to be here, and that just leaves Abraham, who's injured and I don't trust, versus Werner, who's fit, and we kind of have a relationship already. So, yeah, the Abraham situation is odd. I sometimes speculate that managers will even play the bad players. They'll keep playing the bad players instead of playing a better option, just to kind of show the board that we need money spent here. So imagine if he puts in Abraham and Abraham starts scoring goal after goal after goal. He might not get the striker that he actually wants.
Why didn't he striker? Yeah.
So you keep playing Werner. It's like, hey, I need some help here. And they're like, why don't you play Tammy? So maybe that's part of what's going into it. I saw something that like he wants to sell 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players in the summer.
Nine players out.
I don't think that's realistic, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tammy Abraham, Kurt Zuma, who else would be on that list?
9 players on the list, yeah.
Chilwell just
Kepa,
joined.
The 9 list on the list are Kepa, Zuma, Tammy Abraham is number 1. Robert left to shake, Ross Barkley, and I think who was again? I think Antonio Rudiger also as among them also. Yep, and that's Olivier Giroud is there, and I think who's the last person? I've forgotten the last person, but it's 9 players.
Yeah, but
no, look, you're not selling 9 players, bro.
Yeah, I don't know how realistic selling 9 players is. I don't think it is, but you can definitely sell like 3 or 4, and I wouldn't be surprised if Abraham was on that list. So it's unfortunate for him that he got injured right when the new manager came, or just recently after, because I think he could have done a far better job than Werner. He's an actual striker, you know. Even though I think when he was a kid he was more of a winger, but I guess
Tammy.
But even when when you're 6'4", 6'5", nobody's putting you on the wing. Like you're playing striker now. So, but he has better instincts than Werner does, and his overall game is better, which isn't saying much, but it's still true,
better.
So.
Better is better.
Better is better than not. Better is better than not being better. So.
Yeah, but with regards to, before we just close this up, before we get into the CL, top 4, top four, man,
I don't
is
know, man.
looks wild.
I don't
Because
know.
I'll be real with you. I wouldn't be confident putting money on Chelsea getting top four. You know, and it would be a disaster if Chelsea don't win the Champions League and they don't get top four. That would be a disaster if they find themselves in the Europa League. Because once you do that, then it becomes very hard to now buy any players if you're not in next year.
Can I go for that?
Okay.
I think the top four is gonna be. I think the match that will decide the top four is gonna be the West Ham United and Chelsea, which is gonna be around the early May, because we have Crystal Palace, we have Brighton, and we have West Ham. So West Ham match is around I think May 13th. So I'm not sure. It's around May. That will decide the top four. If you can kind of scrape through Crystal Palace, we scrape through Brighton, and maybe like some other results go in between around us in a fair way, and we play West Ham. If we can kind of beat West Ham, because West Ham are only leading us with 1 point. If we beat West Ham, that automatically guarantees us top four, because we know we're taking that West Ham out of the team. So the next 3 matches before the pivotal match in May is very, very helpful. If we can kind of ground ourselves out and winning it, I am confident we're gonna make top four. That's how confident I am. We're gonna make top four. I'm confident. I'm not kind of scared. I'm not worried. We'll make top four, and I'm sure.
What if Chelsea don't make top four?
Then they have to win the Champions League.
They have to win the Champions League. That's it. That's the only way. That's the only way. But I am confident we'll win. Can you scroll to the
5 games or
Yeah.
no 4 games?
Richard, can you scroll to our next match, please? So we have Palace.
Then Porto.
Brighton. Then we have this match here. This April match here, the April year, this one here in April, is gonna be decided top four, because if you can beat Palace and then Brighton, that's a 6 point, a pointer. So if you beat West Ham at the London
Are there
Stadium,
any big games left? So
Man City, only Man City, only Man City.
City away.
City, that's only Man City.
Leicester.
Well,
And Leicester.
Arsenal, because Arsenal beats Chelsea, in that
And Villa's not easy either. So
Villa away and Leicester City. Wait,
Villa,
these
Leicester, Arsenal,
my
City.
God, look at these games.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's not an easy close.
That's on a huge close. That's why I said if you can beat Crystal Palace and Brighton and West Ham, that will give us more confidence.
Even
Fulham's
not a guaranteed win.
Fulham,
Exactly.
because remember,
Fulham
they're going to be fighting for relegation.
Right. That's why I say it's easier if you beat Brighton and Palace.
My thing about it, forget that. Even through West Ham,
You better win the
Man
CL,
City, Arsenal, Leicester, because Leicester City are going to still try to fight
What
to
is
maintain
Liverpool's
top four.
schedule looking like? Look that up. Because Liverpool are the most dangerous, I would say.
So Liverpool have,
And if they have
Aston
weak
Villa,
sauce, like
Aston Villa,
So Villa,
Leeds
Madrid,
United,
Leeds.
Newcastle, Liverpool. They have United, Southampton, West Brom, Burnley, and Crystal Palace.
Yeah, those
that
are.
one's a bit easier. I'd
That's
say.
that's an easier running, man.
Can we check?
What
some,
are Spurs?
Spurs is dangerous. I wouldn't trust Spurs anyway. But
They have Everton.
Spurs
Southampton.
are out of it, man. They're out of it.
They have
They're out of
Sheffield
it.
United. They have Leeds United. They have Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Villa,
Aston Villa, Leicester City.
Oh, Leicester Spurs on the last day, so they
Yeah.
both drop points.
Yeah.
Well, or one of them drops points, so that's good.
For me, I think the real threat is Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think you can discard Everton, Tottenham. I think West Ham, you can't ignore them because look, basically because Jay Links has been doing his thing, man. Jay Links has been doing his thing, so maybe because West Ham, these guys keep doing their thing. Yeah, man, this is tight, man. This is so. I mean, what do your instincts tell you, irrespective of the Champions League? Do
Liverpool,
Chelsea in the top four?
My instincts tell me Liverpool.
Or City, United, Leicester, Liverpool.
Because Liverpool are going to be out of the Champions League. We can say with maybe 65, 70% certainty.
I don't know.
I think it's going to be Chelsea against Madrid. So
I think.
Wait.
Liverpool are out of all
Let
the cups, right? They don't have any cup games left.
I don't know.
It's
FA Cup.
Oh, they do have FA Cup. Okay.
Oh, I mean Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool are out of all the cups. Yeah, they're out of all the
So they'll
cups.
just have one game a week for 7 games. You don't think they can put something together? And this is contingent on Chelsea winning every game.
Yeah, Chelsea have to win every game.
So they They've
So
dropped,
basically, I mean,
5 points in 2
it's
games. So.
it's dependent on whether Liverpool are just going to just find form. Like maybe I think if Jota doesn't get injured and they can keep Jota fit, then maybe Liverpool can go on like a little run.
I don't know. Chelsea can do it. I just think Liverpool are better positioned
and
in the league. Chelsea
and
will
also
have the
and also better fixtures as well.
Yeah, Chelsea will have the benefit of, hey, if you can beat Madrid over 2 legs, you have a final. But that final is not going to be easy. So, and that's assuming you beat Porto in the second leg, which we'll get there.
I would like as well. So what do you say, man? Top 4 aspirations, man.
Like I said from UHH, I'm still confident we're gonna make top 4. I'm very confident.
Where does this confidence come from after losing 5-2 to West Brom?
Like I said to you, went to Chetoko, I said we will lose matches. It's all about the mentality of how we react. I've been saying it. I wanted this lose from day one because if we lose, it will show our mentality. It will show our mentality as a team. Because you can go unbeaten. This people will say they've not been tested enough. We're gonna stay past the hurdles. But when you lose now, it's all about how you react as a team. Now let's see how they can react in the Premier League. It's all about continuity. Keep continuing. Let's see the progress in the team. I believe West Ham will drop off. I still have that belief. Leicester City will drop off. I am that sure of it. They will drop off. I'm that sure because that's the next 2 matches before West Ham is pivotal. If you can beat Brighton, if you can scrape through Palace, and if you go to London Stadium and beat West Ham, that automatically gives us 9 points. That guaranteed top 4 for us. That's a 9-pointer.
There are a lot of these assumptions, but then at the end of the day, you have to look at those last few games, man. Man City, and so forth. What?
Like the gap between Chelsea and Leicester is only 5 points.
Wait, you say click who? West Ham or
Leicester City. So what does their schedule look like? So they have
now that's the big game. West Ham away.
Now this is kind of important.
Interesting.
Because one of the two will drop points or both.
Will drop point. Mm-hmm.
So if Chelsea win their next game, they're in the top 4.
Yeah.
If Leicester like lose that, they now sort of now come into the top 4 fight equation.
Either way,
if they lose that,
if they win, or meaning Chelsea. If Chelsea win, then any result there.
Because we play before Leicester City, so if we win on Saturday, we go above West Ham.
But then West Brom probably a win. Palace probably a win. Southampton away.
I'm not getting Southampton on.
Mm-hmm. Newcastle at home probably a win.
United.
Then they end.
United and Tottenham.
3 tough ones. So
United, Tottenham. See,
but United,
that's funny because did Chelsea
United
play?
will already be clear by May 11th. The only thing they might have is Europa League final, maybe, or semis, depending. So yeah, Liverpool have the better schedule. Then I'd say Chelsea, then Leicester, then Spurs. And I think that's probably the only people who can make it. Although Everton do have the game in hand, which can get them to 50 and 6th. So there's something to look at, but you can tell by their form that they're not in the best way. So it's hard to say. I mean, if you look at all like the form thing, the only team that's really playing well or 2 are City and United. Yeah. Everybody else has red sporadically.
Yeah.
Because people, it's a top 4 battle for a reason. Like you're not that good, otherwise you'd be fighting for the title. So who knows?
All right. So that's there. So look, man. Let's look at what happened last night, shall we?
Rice is out for a month. Declan Rice is out for a month. Then 4 weeks.
Oh, for West Ham. So look, man. Let me ask you guys this then. Let me start with a question then.
Where's Eddie?
I mean, he did say that because he said that these terms are going to be very tricky. So I've tried to push it as late as I can. So I think that if he does come, it's going to. I think it's like because we moved the time. It's like 7 a.m. now, so it's like an hour earlier because we shifted times. Yeah. So but I think he may come through like half hour or so. So do I need to apologize
to
Mason Mount?
I don't. Maybe you guys
And
do.
Daniel, why don't you need to apologize after you called Mason Mount nothing but an English roadman?
I said he shouldn't be playing on the wing. Now he's playing like in more central half space areas. So I never had a problem with that. My issue was if you're playing 4-3-3 and you have Callum Hudson-Odoi on the bench, why am I seeing Mason Mount starting on the wing, Frank? That doesn't make sense, bro. So that was my criticism. I never criticized Mount. You guys were calling him, his decision making. He's an idiot and all this kind of stuff, which has its place. I think every 21, 22-year-old player can improve their decision making. I don't think that's like some amazing statement, obviously. But I don't think I need to apologize too much, except for maybe my bad company.
So okay, wait. So look. Before I go, and let me just hit some of this. So thanks for the dub, Wisegate Jackson, who says, "Why didn't you invite me to the London Blues show?" Because Wisegate Jackson, you're a reverse psychology merchant who was trying to use white magic and witchcraft for Chelsea's downfall. So screw you.
Do we have the Callum.Keith stuff though? I'm pretty sure he must have sent you something.
Oh no. It's in the title. There's a Callum.Keith update for sure.
I can't see.
So okay, so
it's even in the chat. It's even in the chat. He's shutting up already. It's in the chat. Callum.Keith is even shutting up.
I see. Yes, absolutely. Mount the greatest white hope has delivered.
He's in the chat?
Yeah, it's in the chat. Yeah, he's in the chat.
Okay, wait, and also wait. So this is from Paul Kickley, who says, "Form is temporary, eye test is permanent," which is true. It is true. I've always said I'm an eye test merchant man.
Wait a minute.
What?
Is this a fake Callum.Keith? And somebody made like a YouTube account and called it.
Yeah, it's a fake one, man. It's a fake one.
Just to come here.
Yeah, it's a fake one.
This is Gatlock. I can almost guarantee you this is Gatlock.
No, because you know that it's a fake one. Of course, I knew it's a fake one, man. So look, let's talk Mason Mount, man. That was a very, very good goal. Like there is nothing else has been said. That is a very, very good goal. The take on him receiving it, the turn and the finish. I have never called Mason Mount a bad player. I've never said that. I've never called Mason Mount a bad player. And I've always said, even during the first season under Frank Homeboy, when I actually called him Mount Kilimanjaro, I was like, oh, look, no, the Mount is that dude. Now, people may think this is harsh, but it is what it is. I partly blamed him for that loss to Bayern Munich. Because I thought that he was one of the most ineffective players on the pitch. I know he was young and so, but that was just maybe my emotions coming out. So during Lampard's reign, what?
The phrasing of Lampard's reign, I'm just like, why would they even let him be king? Like, Lampard's reign.
Yeah. It's like
Chelsea actually did that. They gave Frank Lampard.
He allowed this guy to have like
for like a season and a half. They actually let Frank Lampard manage Chelsea.
Frank Lampard, amazing man, and it was as bad as expected. Horror show.
Just think, Frank Lampard was Chelsea manager, for like a long time. He had a reign. He wasn't a caretaker manager or case.
He was the man. Like he was in charge.
They picked him and stuck with it for months on end. So people have suffered, man. But,
so look, to this whole Mount thing. Like, look, as I said again, it's as if people are viewing what I say as criticism. Mount is a good player. Dare I say, a very good player who is capable of doing what he did against FC Porto, scoring goals like that. We know how good he is at free kicks. We know how good he is at delivering balls. But I don't think he's that great a player. Let me put another example. Bruno Fernandes. I don't think Bruno Fernandes is that great a player, but he is highly effective. He may produce a key pass or do something or score a key goal that will help United win a game. So he is a very important player to have. So something like Mason Mount, he's the kind of guy that can make things happen and can be very effective. But do I rate him as a good quality for footballer? He's good, but then there are degrees as to how good he truly is. And when I say that, people think that I'm hating on him because people want to sort of bully me and force me to say that he's a generational talent, he's amazing, and so forth. And I still believe, if he is truly Chelsea's best player, Chelsea can only go so far. Because yes, it was a very good goal. That is FC Porto without two of their key players, and that is FC Porto. Now, if he does it against a Real Madrid, against a Bayern Munich, against a PSG, against a Man City, okay, whoa. Now that is a whole different level. But you see, I don't want this to be like a whole answer. Like that was a very, very big goal. And I see that's the kind of goal that now raises your stock. Because this isn't Winnish FC. This isn't Queen Elizabeth United.
People are
like
saying
this
that's
is
cap though, HH.
What's that?
People are saying that's cap. That you capping. It's like, all you do is bully him on Twitter. I'm saying
bully him. I lead the band of the anti-bullying thing. See, let's just remain on topic here.
It's a cap.
Like that was a quality goal. Nobody is denying the quality of that goal that he scored. All I am saying is, and people just be clear, all I am saying is,
what is on your head, by the way?
A t-shirt. No, I'm just protecting my head because it's a bit cold. It's a bit cold. And just in time. Eddie, you just joined us for the Mason Mount talk where I have been bullied into an apology. So you just came in time.
Bruh. Yeah, apologies, guys.
No.
It's fine.
Whoa, Eddie.
Eddie just woke up.
I woke
There is
up.
no apologies needed,
Yeah,
man.
I actually just I didn't just wake up. I woke up to watch the Europa League game, and then wanted to have a bit of a nap before the show, and just woke up from it. So
Wait.
Don't worry about it, man.
Wait. What time is it over there in Australia now?
it's 8:27 or 8:28.
Oh, 8:28
Friday
tomorrow.
morning?
Friday morning.
Yeah, Friday morning. Yeah.
Because I think you guys and Japan are both ahead.
Yeah.
I think Japan is also ahead as well.
Yeah, Japan's
Oh yeah,
ahead, but
because you're
we're
on
ahead of Japan.
on the east of.
We're at the end of the world, man.
Yeah. No, because it takes 11 hours. Because when I went to Japan, that took 11 hours. I think to go to Australia, I think that's like a day or 16 hours.
No, yeah, it'll be about
England.
16 hours. So
16
from
hours.
England,
Is it
you
like-
go
isn't
to
it if you-
Dubai or something, or
Isn't it if
Qatar.
you fly to California, like the international date line, and like it's like one
Yeah.
day, and then you fly across, and you go backwards into time,
Yeah. Yep.
and then when you fly across it, like I don't know, it's weird.
It's weird, man. It's weird.
No, look, the world is weird. Okay, so Mount, so look.
Oh, wait, is Mounts the first topic?
No.
It was
We
you
talked
missed
about
West Brom.
We talked
You missed
about
West Brom.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to quickly give your West Brom
Yeah,
thoughts, bro?
yeah.
Give your West Brom thoughts.
Okay. Well, as far as the West Brom game goes, yeah, I only watched half the game. At 2-1, I knew what the hell was going to happen that day, and I was like, I don't want to see this. And I just went to do something productive with my life because those Chelsea boys, just Chelsea boys turned up like they didn't want to play. Especially after the red card happened, there's something wrong mentally with most of the players where when things start going wrong, they give up or something. Too many players like your Rhys James, Alonso and Zuma. If you remember a couple of weeks ago when one of the lineups came out, I said, look, Alonso and Zuma are not a combination I like down that left-hand side. And they got exposed that first half. Jorginho, he should have been in prison for the useless passes he was making that first half. He got Thiago Silva sent off.
Prison.
No. Jorginho should have been in prison at the end of that first. He should not have made it out the dressing room. Like what that guy did in the first half was criminal. And I mean, man, well, you can't say much about the attack that day because.
But I think because Daniel was making a point of
Is that the subtle art of not giving a fuck
what?
over Eddie's shoulder?
Oh, right,
that,
yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, how the hell did he see that, man?
I just know like what that orange book looks like.
Oh, okay.
Somebody told me I should read it. I'm like,
Read it, people. It's good for your life.
I don't know. No, I will. No. I need to give less of a fuck these days, man. Trust me. So
I got books.
oh yeah, hey, all comments.
My man, my comments. You getting my
I got
comments,
hella books.
Daniel?
Yeah, I've got a laptop. Mac, I've got a Mac.
He's got a MacBook.
I've got a lens. I've got a lens. I've got a lens. So, Eddie, what's Daniel was saying that like when there was a man sense of like he should have gone to a back four and been a bit more positive rather than maintain the whole back three. Like, what do you think he should have done when Chelsea went a man down?
When Chelsea went a man down, the first thing I thought was you take off Aspie or you take off Rich James, straight up. Because when Thiago Silva got sent off, I was like, oh sweet, we can play back four now. But then I was like, oh wait, Aspie is still at centre back because it's a back two now. You can't trust Aspie at centre back. So one of them has to come off, and the other plays play back four. I think you still have the three up front and two in the middle. See how you go with that. But yeah, the change was a bit negative in my opinion. And he's got to take some blame for the change he made. But at the same time, I don't think that's what really lost the game. The mentality of the players was just bad. Like these guys couldn't beat the West Brom press. That's how bad it was. They could not beat the West Brom press. And I was like, what the hell's going on? So the mentality of the players that day were bad. But yeah, Tuchel also should take some blame for some of the changes he made. But at the same time, with 10 men, I don't blame him for that change. He might wanted to. I mean, the game was 1-0 at the time, so he could have wanted to keep the 1-0 by keeping the ball and just maybe we'll hit them on the counter. But these guys couldn't make a 5-yard pass to save their life, and it was just get out of there as soon as possible, Eddie. Man. Yeah.
Do you think he should have played 5-2-3 against West Brom at all? Or do you think that's maybe too negative a position to take from the start, considering West Brom are 19th?
If you look at the way Chelsea started the game, again, the whole 5-2-3, it's not really 5-2-3 when he plays it. I mean, Alonso and Rich James were a bit more attacking. I think he went into that game 3-5-2, or 3, whatever. 3-4-3. He went into the game trying to be more attacking. He went into the game, trying to obviously be more proactive. Chelsea had, at some point, I think Chelsea had like 80% possession, and they were in the West Brom, half. So it wasn't until the second, was it after 15 minutes, that West Brom started to get in the game. And then Chelsea score, Thiago Silva gets sent off like a couple of minutes later, and it's like, what's going on? So everything before the red card, you could see Chelsea trying to be more proactive this day. It was like Tuchel had said, okay, you guys sort of have done the defensive stuff. Let's go have a bit of fun. It's West Brom. And they pay for that. And Thiago Silva is getting memes since Saturday.
Do you know what? I remember something, Half Hope. West Brom scored 5 goals in one game against Chelsea. To get 5 goals in their previous games, they needed 11 games.
Yeah.
How crazy that is.
Oh shit! What?
So in their past 11 games in the Premier League, they scored 5 goals. Going, I think, all the way back to Manchester City, which would have been a long time ago. Then in one game, they score what they produced in 11. That's like 1,000 minutes of football. They produced the same amount of goals in 90 minutes.
It's almost like I have to stress. A man down is no excuse for that. Like you can even bring that up as excuse because I think I was saying this to you, Daniel. Like 11v11, Chelsea are like 70% favorites, fourth against 19th. 10v11, Chelsea are like 60%. Or 55% still favorites still. So it's maybe a little bit more equal, but they're still favorites because you are still fourth, they're still 19th, and you have far more superior individuals and players. So if you handle it properly, you should still win. And even if you lose, there's no excuse to lose that badly and to lose so comprehensively. Because that loss was really about a lack of match management and just very stupid mistakes defensively.
Did you see what the Porto coach said though in his post or in his press conference? He was like, "It's dangerous that they lost like this."
Yeah,
because it gives them kind of the inspiration and motivation to play better. In a bigger game.
That was the
and,
one thing.
and he was insightful.
Which is why I said
at that
blessing in
point.
disguise. Like,
Yeah,
I can't remember. Wait, was it on a? I remember I said to someone that it is a blessing in disguise, and someone said, "Oh no, it's no blessing." I think it was on the Hangouts, and I think I said it to Eric. I said it's a blessing in disguise, and Eric was like, "No, that's not a blessing in disguise." I think it is a blessing in disguise because if, let's say, Chelsea had just beaten West Brom routinely and so forth, then maybe they don't really go into that FC Porto game with that psychology. The fact that they lost and they lost so badly, and guys were now starting to ask Tuchel questions, it gave them the thing of, okay, now we now have to react.
yeah.
We now have to now do something. So
it could have been a case of, if you haven't lost, how mad can Tuchel really get? Like how critical can the coach be, and how do you take that criticism once he gives it to you? Once you lose and you lose like that, the coach then can now be a little bit more aggressive, and you need to improve this, you need to improve that, we need to improve as a team here, and this is your chance to go out and do it.
Yeah, he would have seen some things on the day.
I think it was a blessing for the Porto game, but if you look at the context of the season, you can't drop those 3 points.
Yeah.
So
that's one thing I was going to get to. Like, I mean, a couple of things actually. First, I was mad after that. I mean, once I saw the final score, I was like, I knew I was going to get memed because 3 people hit me up straight away that what happened. I'm like, shut up, man. Like, leave me alone. And the first thing I kind of thought of was, I think what Daniel was alluding to, you can't drop those 3 points. It's about the table. And unfortunately, I've just got to say right now, looking at Chelsea's fixtures, Chelsea fans, be realistic. If Chelsea are going to make the Champions League, they have to win the Champions League by virtue of dropping that 3 points, because 3 more points.
Us? Or did you
Sorry?
just...
No, I wasn't
Eddie's
watching.
going through everything we said. It's same wavelength.
Like, if Chelsea are going to make the Champions League, it has to be through the Champions League. I'm sorry. Those last 5 games is mad, because my thing with it is Manchester United and Leicester City, that was the opportunity for Chelsea to drag them back into the race.
Yep.
That 5 points is a bit of a cushion for them until that gap becomes 1-2 points and the other teams behind us maybe closer. Then it's pretty much, I think, 5 teams fighting for the 1 position. The only thing that helped Chelsea is the fact that Leicester City and United still have to play some of these teams, and there's also some head-to-heads between Chelsea and some of these teams. So maybe in about 3-4 games, the situation might look different. But apart from that, man, look, Chelsea fans, just be realistic. If Chelsea are making a Champions League next year, just pray for another 2012 miracle.
Eddie, that is way extreme, man. That is way extreme. Okay, so look, man, that's a nice segue. Look, that's a perfect segue back to the whole month.
I mean, okay, no, I don't want to step on your segue. So,
it was a beautiful segue. You just had to think it is my segue. So that's a beautiful segue. So Eddie says we have to win this bloody champion. We win this Champions League.
My French book isn't around here, but
HH was dropping a lot of wheeze yesterday, man.
Hey, Eddie, man.
After the game.
Eddie, I did. Basically, after that's when I had some. So, like, guys, I'm fake. Like, okay, at least I admit I'm fake. So it is what it is. Yes, because of that win, I was hyped.
I digress. I'm not gonna speak on this.
What?
He said it's fake. I digress. I'm not speaking on it. Continue.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Okay, we get it.
Let's go this guy's face, man. Mason Mount. So that was an amazing goal. A quality goal, and I think that goal was needed. I'm happy that I had both games on. So, guys, remember this. Let me repeat it. This is called the Complicated Chelsea Show. So, because it's called the Complicated Chelsea Show, I was watching 2 games at the same time.
Daniel, did you watch the game or you watched the Bayern game?
I watched more PSG Bayern actually.
Oh,
what?
That's why I asked.
Don't do that to me, because you were too, half hope. What do you mean?
I had both games on as well. So.
I can tell by half hope's reaction that he was looking like to his secondary screen for the Mount goal, and he was looking at his main screen for like the Mbappé goal. So don't put me on the Summer Jam screen as if you weren't doing the same shit. Okay.
I mean, any football fan would do that,
You
man.
post your reactions. You do it on Twitch. It was clear that you were looking at the small screen. I don't know what you had, but you was looking at the small screen, bro.
I was looking at the iPad. Yeah.
Exactly. He was like, oh, Mount scored. It's just like it was some secondary thing. So look, I think we were probably all doing.
Daniel, you're very sick about that.
Yeah, we're all doing the same thing. I had both games on as well.
Look,
Like,
guys,
bro.
Again, the clue is in the title of this show. I keep telling people, it's called the complicated Chelsea. It's weird. We are weird. Well,
Like,
this
in
dude
no world
maybe
is Chelsea Porto a better game than PSG Bayern.
and also Daniel, did you see the kind of game that we saw?
Bro, the PSG Bayern was.
It was a superior game. Like
It was different. It was
There's no
different.
excuse.
So my thing is that you wanted me to miss that game and focus on Chelsea FC Porto. That was like a tactical chess match. But I digress. I think, look, it was. I'll keep it rule with you. Porto were putting Chelsea under a little bit of pressure, and I think Aspilicueta made one crazy block. One really good block where, like, I think the shot was coming through and he just put his left foot there, and Mendy made a few saves. So before the Mount goal, I was like, okay, before we get to the Mount goal, false nine. This is what I always say about the false nine. Only two teams are allowed to play the false nine. Pick Spain from 2008 to 2012, or Barcelona with Lionel Messi. If you're neither of those two teams, you should not be playing the false nine. Pep's false nine didn't work against Dortmund. Dortmund just gave away that pass that led to the first goal, and they were just stupid defensively, and he got saved by Foden. The false nine is a tactic that has to be used when you have extremely, and I mean extremely, high IQ passers, like passers at the very top of their level, and very, very smart players who are good at off-the-ball movements. You're playing a false nine with Timo Werner and Havertz. It's like Spain were doing this with David Silva, Fabregas, Xavi, Iniesta, some of the best passes we've ever seen in the game. So that's why they won a Euros with that, because these are the very best passes. You want to compare that to, bless his soul, I'm a huge fan, Kovacic, Jorginho. You want to compare the guys to Iniesta, David Silva, Xavi, Fabregas? Come on, bro. And you now put Messi in there if you go to Barcelona. So as I was watching, it's like, no, it's not working. And Havertz clearly can't play this role. His role clearly is a support striker or an attacking midfielder. Werner is a law unto himself. And Mount tried to do what he could. So it's credits to Mount that once you just get a sniff, hit that ball. Don't pass, don't move. Once you just get a sniff or a start to go, hit it. So credit to Mount where he just said, like, get me on that half turn. If I can just see somewhat of his sight, strike that ball, because we're not scoring it either way, because it was screaming for a striker. Because Tammy was on that bench. So was Giroud.
Tammy wasn't on the bench.
Oh, well, that's what Google said, unless Google is
Tammy was on the bench.
Tammy was on the bench.
Yeah, was on the bench.
Sammy, like, according to what I saw on Google, Sammy was on.
Tammy was on the bench.
It was West Brom game. It wasn't in the squad for.
Yeah. West Brom wasn't, but he was on the bench. So you had two strikers on the bench starting this game, which was crazy, man. But look, Mount. My thing with Mount is very simple. I don't know how good this guy can be. He is a very good player, and that was a very good goal. But the job isn't done yet. Mount, I thank you for that, G, and so forth. But Mount, if Chelsea are in trouble come the second leg, I need you to say what's up. I need you to say what's up. And yeah, I'll say it. Going from Hazard to Mount, Daniel, talk to me.
What kind of question? Okay. I think I've said this many times. I think people could verify this one. Get the clips. But I said Mount could be the best English midfielder. Now, this was before I kind of saw what
Wait,
Foden
midfielder, like, but that wait, ever is generation.
Like, the contemporarily, this is what I was saying. But then I didn't understand the Foden thing, which I now completely understand. So I don't think Mount can be the best, but he can be one of the best English.
He can be better than Foden.
No. But I think he can be one of the better English midfielders. I've been saying this.
That's not very hard though.
It's Mount, it's Foden, it's Grealish. Like those three, I think
Sancho
are the guys.
Thank you very much, Daniel.
I'd class him more as a winger.
Daniel, thank you very much. God bless you. Go ahead.
But see what people are trying to do, because England has their own supremacy that they're dealing with. Because you could be one of the best English players, that now makes you one of the best players in the world. So they take that extra step where it's like, hey, calm down. And I think that's probably where, and I think that's probably where we push back a little bit. It's just like, yeah, he's good, but just calm down, you know? So I've always thought that he had that potential. If you look at his technique, the way that he perceives the game, the energy, the hustling, all that kind of stuff. If you combine all that together, he can be a very, very effective and good Premier League player. And I think that's what we're seeing. And I've asked you guys before, how much do you think it would cost to get a player like Mount in this team? 50, 60 million or something like that? And
from overseas or?
Yeah, I think I've settled on like 40, 45 million pounds. You would need a player you would need that much money to get a player like Mount in the team.
I'm pretty sure you can go on for 30.
You however much it is, you're saving tens of millions of pounds by having a player like Mount in the team. So I think Lampard does get credit for that. Same with Reece James, same with Tammy Abraham, if you use them correctly. He shouldn't be the best player on the team.
You see, before you continue,
is the best player.
Before you go, because see, you just hit the key point, and this is where I push back. Because the comments have been, when I did like my post match, all the comments were like, "No, Mount is your best player. Give him more credit. Mount is your best player." I feel wrong when that's been said, because that's why I said Hazard was the face of Chelsea, and I was proud by saying, "Oh, clown him only once." I'm proud to say Hazard is the best player at Chelsea because I know how good this guy is. So I'm proud to say, yes, Hazard is the guy. If you now say that Mason Mount is now the face of Chelsea and the best player at Chelsea,
Mount can be the face of the team. I don't have a problem with that because it makes sense. He's from
English.
The youth academy. He's English. It makes sense. It's the same way like Lampard or Terry were the face of Chelsea at a time, even though maybe Drogba could have been the best player, or Makelele was better, or Carvalho was better, or Cech was better. The face of the team is going to be the English dude. I'm fine if Mount is the face of the team. If he's captain, okay, that makes sense. Maybe he can talk with the referees in a language that maybe Aspilicueta can, or whatever it is. My issue is he is the best player on the team right now. But if you want to win things, I'm not look at Chelsea's position in the Premier League with Mount as their best player. It's like battling for top 4. Where do you want Chelsea to be? Do you want them to be battling for top 4, or do you want them where City is? And if you want them where City is, if that's your ambition, like maybe some people don't care where Chelsea is and they're just happy to be Chelsea fans. Cool. But where do you want your club to be? And once you answer that question honestly, then you have to ask, what standard and quality of player get me to where I want to go? And I don't think Mount should be the best player on a team that has those kinds of aspirations. Now, maybe in 5-10 years or whatever it is, if he develops into like 15 goal a season, 15 assist guy, maybe we could have a different conversation. But 21, 22-year-old Mason Mount being the best player on Chelsea limits, I think, how far they can go. And using a game against Porto to say, no, we're ready. Like, hold your horses. There's Real Madrid perhaps to come. There's Liverpool perhaps to come. There's City or PSG, Bayern perhaps to come. Like, those are the games where you can actually say, wow, like, they've actually done something. So I'll leave it there and I'll come back.
Edward?
I mean, Daniel pretty much said most of the things I was going to say, but one thing I will say is, it's fine, man. It's fine.
stealing people's points. Fuck.
This I still don't think Mount is the best player in this team. Maybe so
He's
far
the
he can
best
call him the
performer.
best.
He's the best
Yeah,
performer.
in terms of attacking, you can call him one of the best, maybe one of the best attackers so far this season in the team. But Kovacic should be the best player from what we've seen this season. Although he is looking a bit shaky, and that was my thing with the game yesterday. That look, Chelsea fans have to be a bit worried about some players. Kovacic and Jorginho yesterday, they carried the same issues from the weekend and transferred it to yesterday. Yes, the only thing is they didn't do as many passes backwards. They just couldn't make a forward pass. There was nothing going on. And just taking it from Daniel's last point about, look, it's just a Porto game, yeah? Can someone tell me what Mount did before scoring that goal? Just
Eddie,
anything.
if I talk,
No.
I'll keep my mouth.
Can someone? I'll pull up my notes. Yeah, I'll start writing it so I can start taking notes. Yeah, let me know something Mount did before that goal that you actually remember from the game.
Eddie, we're not allowed to bring that up. We have to focus on him scoring the goal.
This is why people call you guys haters.
My thing is, and the same thing also applies for Havertz. Havertz basically didn't touch the ball yesterday. Werner was non-existent in that game. Our whole attack was rubbish. Credit Mount. He was ready to take the opportunity when he came. I mean, Abdullahi was a proud father yesterday. There was no indecision. There was no indecision there. It was, I get the ball, I shoot. He didn't worry about passing. He didn't do anything. Credit him for that. But don't gas this thing to the point where you're making it seem like this guy is an Mbappé. This guy is a Haaland, where he's done the biggest thing ever. Like, oh, Chelsea are in the semi-final now because of me. No. Porto gave you guys that game yesterday. Chelsea didn't win that game. I'm sorry. Chelsea were rubbish yesterday. Chelsea played bad. Like, that was a bad performance, but you ran away with a 2-0 result. It was highway robbery.
This is why I like this show. This is why I like this show, is because it's about being fully realistic. You see, when I saw that lineup, I was like, when is Bayern PSG starting? Like, when is like, let me get my TV good, boom, boom, all that kind of stuff, and so forth. And when I was looking at both of the games, Porto were missing two extremely key players. Let's not get it twisted. Oliveira is arguably their best attacking player, and we saw how important he was for them.
Their main goal scorers as well.
And Tarumi, who was given a red card, was missing. So two of their key attack, because Marega ain't great. Let's just keep it. The guy ain't great.
Easy. He's okay.
He's not. He ain't great.
Marega is not that good, man.
He's not that good.
His goal scoring record is pretty good, guys.
In
the Portuguese league.
In the Portuguese league, thank you.
Respect. He wears 11 because he's a Drogba fan. I know it. So
Porto missing the other key players. If you want to be fully real, Chelsea were not good, and Porto had Chelsea on the ropes. Just like Porto didn't have any quality finishers, but Porto were putting Chelsea under pressure. Hence why that goal was so important, because Man doesn't score that goal. I don't know how that game ends up.
Exactly.
I don't know how that game ends up. So, and here's what it's interesting. Is like, does that win now cover up the cracks that you saw seeping through from Saturday and so forth?
Yes.
No.
Also.
Oh, you mean from me, or do you mean in terms of how people perceive it?
How people perceive it. Oh no, okay, both. In both senses, you and how people perceive it.
No, like the cracks are there. You can cover it up, but they're still there. For some people, if you win the bigger game, then what happened on the weekend? That's water under the bridge. No pun intended.
Oh
yeah, Stamford Bridge. Yeah. I'm slow.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel hit the nail on the head there. For other people, it's like, oh yeah, we're in the Champions League semi-final. Which, look, I know HH, you don't want to admit it yet. Chelsea are there. Porto aren't scoring 2 goals against Chelsea next week. And yeah, they might as well just kill the tie right now. But if you want to celebrate Chelsea in the semi-final because they beat Porto, and you want to just forget the fact that they just conceded 5 on the weekend, be my guest. But don't come crying the next time this same thing happens, because I'm telling you, in the near future, if Chelsea don't fix up, this similar type of result would happen.
No. Because,
Yeah.
okay, because see, let's look at the big picture here. If Chelsea don't sort things out, you may not get top 4.
Yeah.
And I don't like Liverpool in the Champions League because I think it's Liverpool are 2-1 over Chelsea in the Champions League. I think knockouts.
Yeah.
Wait, why are you
2-1.
saying Liverpool?
I'm covering both bases. So if it's Liverpool
2005,
and 07,
2007, and then they beat them.
and then when Drogba slid in front of Benitez after it scored. So my thing is that if it's Liverpool, I just don't like the whole thing of Liverpool in that Champions League.
Technically, it's 2-1 though. Technically, because 2005 that was fake.
Oh no!
Chelsea won.
I'm being technical.
Won.
Luis Garcia.
Luis
Garcia goes goal. So my thing is okay. So if it's Liverpool, boom.
They
If it's Real Madrid,
game be cheating.
if it's Real Madrid, I mean, so my thing is like there are. Okay, look, Abdullah, talk to me, man. You've been quiet, bro. With your cap, does that say parish?
Yeah.
Daniel and Eddie just said my mind. I keep saying to people, like I've been saying it, I do not want to rant too much about Messi, man, because when I talk, people come.
Give him credit for the goal. Give him credit for the goal.
I'm an hater of a Messi.
Give him credit
Mount.
for the goal. Don't be a hater. Anti-English.
HH.
Xenophobic. Racist.
HH, mute your mic.
HH. Anybody who wants sense.
Mute your mic. He actually muted.
HH. Anyone who has sense and has brain will score that goal Messi Mount score.
Abdullah, no.
Eddie, let me talk.
Abdullah,
Anybody who has brain.
This is why we gotta let him talk because he'll hang himself. Go ahead.
Everybody who has sense and brain will score that goal Messi Mount score. Yes. I will say it again. I will repeat myself.
Wait. Before I miss myself again, does Timo Werner score that goal?
No, Timo Werner is not a player.
Guys, garbage, man. Continue.
Timo Werner is not a player, so we don't even need to have a discussion about him. So, I love what Daniel said. Messi Mount isn't our best player, but when we say the truth, we get kind of baptized on social media like we're hating on Messi. We're not hating on Messi Mount. I will say it again. I keep saying it. Phil Foden is a greater player and a better player than Messi Mount, even Jack Grealish. But English press and English idiot doesn't want to accept that because they kind of worship this Messi Mount stuff. I'll say it again. Messi Mount and Jack Grealish has a better IQ than Messi Mount because they will produce far greater things in their club than what Messi Mount has produced. And I keep saying, this is my question to Chelsea fans now. If Messi Mount is our best player, we are screwed. I've been supporting Chelsea since 2003. We bought Balak, Deco, Mikel, Essien, Makelele. So can someone tell me where the youth system is there in that team?
I made a rap album in 2003, but I digress. Continue. I did.
Can someone tell me Makelele, Essien, Mikel, Deco, Balak, Frank Lampard, those players, please can tell me where the youth is in that team? Where's the youth? I want to know where the youth is in that team now. When people talk about Messi Mount being our best player, we have so many players in that team that those are winning teams. Those are title winning teams that can win in the Europe and win in the EPL. Those teams won. Those are winners in that team. So people should not come at me and say Messi Mount is our best player. I
have a question. Abdullah.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the best performing player right now, though?
Performing player, I'll give it to
It's
Messi
Mount. It would have to
Mount.
be Mount.
But the best player is not Mount. He is not the best player.
Yes, you see, that's fair. You see, that's yeah.
He's the best performing player, but he shouldn't be the best player at Chelsea if Chelsea want to win.
Mm-hmm. That's not my problem.
How simple is that? It's so simple.
It's very simple. Very, very simple.
But people don't want to accept that.
They don't want to accept it. That's what the problem is.
Because see, the issue is that City Daniel, the way you put it was beautiful. Beautiful. But when you put it like that, people will now say that, no, you're hating. Why can't Mount be the best player? Why can't Mount be the guy that can lead Chelsea forward? Why can't you give him credit that he deserves? Why can't you call him? Why can't he be capable of
You can
being
give him
Chelsea's best
credit
player?
and be realistic. But some people
But
don't
people
want to
will-
be realistic.
People don't.
you know?
People don't want to be realistic, and when you're, it's weird. People will ignore all of the good things you say about him, but that's one little thing about. Well, I don't think he's. Oh my gosh, you're hating. So all those good things I said about him, you've just ignored that. The one thing I said that not that he's crap, he isn't to the level of what a João Felix and Mbappe that these best young players in the world are doing. Because if you're now making an argument that he's amongst the best young players in the world,
No.
whoa, okay.
Now-
I mean,
Now, here's an interesting question, I suppose. If Phil Foden was the best performing player at Manchester City, because of the pieces that surround Phil Foden, Manchester City can still win things.
Yeah.
Even if he's number one. If Mount's number one, given the pieces that are surrounded by him at Chelsea, that's not good enough. Because City are just a better constructed team, a better managed team, a better organized team. So I think that's another distinction that we have to make. That Mount can be your best performing player and you can win. But the pieces around him would have to be so much better and give more.
but basically, a perfect example is
and that maybe goes into the Werner point or the Havertz point or the Ziyech point. If Mount's performing better than like if Phil Foden is performing better than Kevin De Bruyne and Kevin De Bruyne is still Kevin De Bruyne, then Man City can win a bunch of stuff because you're getting a lot from the team. If Mount is performing better than Jorginho and Jorginho's giving you what Jorginho can give you, that's not equal to what Kevin De Bruyne can give you. Therefore, it's a problem for Chelsea. So it's more nuanced than just Mount. You have to look at the team as a whole.
the team around it. But real quick, does somebody have quick access to like a stats thing or something, like who scored or something? If someone can, if you can just look up what Mbappe's goals and assists was when Monaco won the league.
I think
What was his goals and assists when they won the league in 2017 ahead of PSG? Because my thing about it is that was why Mbappe was such a big deal.
let me check.
What he did in Ligue 1 and what he was doing, I think they said he's the youngest player to score in almost every round of the Champions League knockouts at like 17. So what the guy, because people can say, oh, Mason Mount, he's so young and so forth, which is true. Because I was going to bring in the Hazard points where, Hazard by himself with those pieces can get you an FA Cup. He can get you a Europa League.
Go to Transfermarkt.
You see, because I have so much stuff open, it'll just freeze everything down, especially when I'm sort of like streaming. But with Mbappe, the reason why it was such a big deal was like that guy pretty much by himself was a major reason why Monaco, who had no business winning it ahead of that a freaking PSG, won that Ligue 1. So my thing is that
Is it 21 and
16, 17, he scored 15 goals, 11 assists in the
15
league.
goals, 11 assists just in the league. What's all comps?
All comps, 26 goals, 14 assists.
Damn. That's 40 goal contribution?
Yeah.
15 and 11 just in the league. That's crazy.
Like
And he was 17, I think, at the time.
17.
Mbappe can be that if you have a Falcao who's also performing, if you have a Fabinho who's also performing, if you have a Mendy who's also performing, if you have a Bakayoko who's also performing,
and a Yardim as well as your
if you
coach.
have a did I say Bernardo Silva? Did I say
Bernardo Silva
Sanchez?
was there.
Did I say Lamar? Like there's so many players on that Monaco
Mendy.
team who were performing at a level. Chelsea don't have that right now. You know, you look at the midfield, and Eddie complained, Kovacic and Jorginho weren't playing well. You look at the forward line,
back, man.
and you look at Ziyech isn't performing well, or well enough. Pulisic isn't performing well enough. Werner, let's not even talk. So if Mount is the best performing player, one, you could look at it like he could do that independently, but two, you're like, if Chelsea had better players, would he be the best performer? Probably not. but you would have to improve the team and then see if he could still improve on top of that. So I don't want to be critical of Mount because I don't think Mount has done anything worth criticism.
No.
But the way the team is structured, it's worth criticizing the state that it's in. And Mount is just exemplary of the state of Chelsea.
No, because you see, so I'll come to it. You see, it's a team thing. And that's what I said for months ago, that when I said that Mount's being Chelsea's best player is a problem, they thought I'm just insulting Mount. I said, well, no. You have to look at the bigger picture. This is nothing against Mount. It is great and it's amazing that such a young player is Chelsea's best player. But we're not dealing with Mbappé. We're not dealing with Messi, who these guys are young prodigies where they can't be your best player because these are special, unique talents. So a 17-year-old Mbappé can be your best player because this guy is a special generational talent. Mount isn't Mbappe. He isn't Messi. He isn't these kind of guys who are special players. So him being the best player is like, wait a minute. So this is Abramovich. You've spent this amount of money into this team. Abramovich don't spend 200 million for a youth academy prospect, 21-year-old being the best player. He didn't spend the money on that. Yeah, you can be part of it, but he spent the money saying that, okay, we are signing a 25, 26-year-old or so forth, or we're signing a young star to come through and say what's up. Because you see, you put Hazard at his best in this team, they can win something. For sure. Like Hazard at his best, put him into this team, they can win something, 100%. But in this state, I don't know how these guys can win anything at this stage because of the guys who are currently underperforming and a youth academy dude who is just a pretty good youth academy prospect is your best player. That's an issue, Eddie.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say we don't go into every game trying to criticize Mason Mount or trying to pick something from him. Where I get pissed off is he does something good that, according to Abdullahi, any player with a brain would score. And all of a sudden, it's the best thing since sliced bread. Like Twitter is going off like Lionel Mount and all this rubbish. Even Ford posted some post yesterday and tagged me. I just said, I'm not replying to this, man, because what's the point? Like, they don't get it at this point. Let the man play. Let the man live. Let the man develop. I called it once Lampard got sacked that Mason Mount will be a better player under Thomas Tuchel than he would have been under Lampard. That's happening before our eyes. Let things happen naturally.
So Lampard shouldn't be thanked. There's no reason to thank Lampard, you freaking morons.
You can thank him for bringing Mason Mount in, but you can't credit Lampard for his development.
No.
Yeah, Lampard gave, like Daniel was saying before, I think it's Rich James, Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham. He opened the doors for them to come in. But Tuchel is the one who's going to improve them, or he's the one who's tasked with improving them right now. So if they become world-class tomorrow, yes, some of the credit can be given to Lampard, but Tuchel will have to take it, or whichever manager is able to get them to develop. But on the point of Tuchel as well, before we move to another topic, I think we're moving to...
I haven't finished on Mason Mount.
Okay, yeah, you can go after. On the topic of Tuchel, look, I'm starting to have beef with Tuchel, man, because like HH talked about the lineup. I'm sorry. Where in the contract does it say Werner can't be dropped? Because I don't know what Tuchel was watching last week.
Eddie, no. This Eddie, it's German bias. It's German
Werner
bias.
missed a sitter against Macedonia.
Deutschland.
And and this guy, Werner played the full game against West Brom, didn't he? Because I'm pretty sure he played the full game against West Brom.
Yeah, he did.
Then he starts again yesterday. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And he didn't get taken off until the 80th minute when he did basically nothing. I'm like, when the contract doesn't say you have to play Werner?
Because I was reading somewhere, and this is something that I agree with, because this now comes to management. And this is where you have to understand a player's psychology. If Cristiano is going through a rut, you keep playing him. You don't take him out because he'll play himself out of it because he's strong mentally.
Yeah.
Timo Werner is the kind of guy where you need to sit him down. Because exactly. I was reading somewhere where it said that, no, you're just going to make it worse. And this is what he needs to understand. Tuchel, I don't care how many goals he scores in training. Training isn't a full match. Your mental makeup in training is different from this
You
is now
can't
an
joke
official
around with
match
the games, man.
and so forth. So by playing him more and more, you're only just going to make it worse. Because Eddie, did you see that goal that Mount scored against West Brom, where it came to Timo Werner and he
I still haven't seen the goal.
Anyways,
I didn't see the second half. You think I'm joking? I haven't seen anything from that second half.
or okay, then did you see in the FC Porto game where Timo Werner was running with the ball
That I was
and
gonna.
he
I was
then
gonna
he then
get to that.
overran and the ball was now behind him?
Yeah,
Because he got slick. No, Eddie, he got slick. Eddie, let me talk, man. Let me talk. He got slick. So he was running with the ball, and I was like, look, there was a man to the left. But Timo was like, no. So he was like, he was feeling himself, man. So he was like, you know what, let me just drive into the box. And he got so excited, he ran ahead of the ball.
he left the ball behind.
And do you know what is called IFFF? It's called sprinter. When you run as a 100-meter or 200-meter relay race, one is still batting. Is someone at my back? Is someone at my front? That's what Timo Werner was doing yesterday.
Yeah, that
He's
guy left
sprinting.
the ball. So look,
He's doing the sprinting, exchanging batting to his fellow students.
he said the IAAF.
Is it? I don't even know what's called it. Is it
IAAF? IAAF.
Exactly.
IAAF,
Thank you.
yeah, that's what it is.
IAAF
But
sprinting.
International
also,
Athletics
Havertz
Association.
had a terrible miss as well yesterday. That's something nobody should sleep on. That guy missed an open goal
Okay,
yesterday.
hold on.
Yeah.
Eddie said something that made me think, or not think, but it just triggered something in my mind. The way that people gas up, oh, Mount got his goal. I think we should probably talk about the Chilwell goal. Because have you guys seen the edits? I think even the official Chelsea Twitter page put this out, where they put Chilwell in Torres's body from 2012. Did you guys see this? So it's the white 2012 kit with like the yellow and the black that when Torres goes around Valdez. They put Chilwell in Torres's body, and it was like a still edit of like when he went around. I guess Muslera is the Porto keeper.
Nah, it's
Machisin.
Whatever.
Machisin.
I was like, is that the Galatasaray goalkeeper? Like, when did he move out here? But either way,
No.
Yeah, it was just like, okay. Firstly, it's the quarterfinal. It's not the semifinal. It's Porto. It's not Barcelona 2012 was like a next level club. Like the way that people are trying to make. Okay, how would I word this?
Don't word it. Just say it.
The stage of the competition is not as important as the team you play in that stage.
Yeah.
So people are making it seem as if Mount balled in the Champions League
quarterfinals.
Chilwell balled in the Champions League quarterfinal. Therefore, this means they're ready for even I saw an article that said something to the effect of Reece James has proven himself at the very top level.
I was like, what? Who did he play against?
Now, the argument is because you reach the Champions League quarterfinal, that equals the top level. For me, I was like, hey, easy. Because the exam to judge whether you're at the top level is not FC Porto. So for instance, last season, Chelsea were in the round of 16, a worse stage in the Champions League, not as high as a level, but you played Bayern Munich. Now that's the team that you test yourself against. Now that's a higher level than Porto in a quarterfinal. But because it's Porto, or rather because it's the quarterfinal, people are kind of dropping Porto and just putting whatever they think a Champions League quarterfinal means. It's not the same. A quarterfinal against Porto is not the same as a quarterfinal against Barcelona or Man City or PSG. So Chilwell scores, and all of a sudden it's like Fernando Torres in 2012. Like, nah, like Mount scores, and all of a sudden it's like, I don't know, he's done some incredible feat. Like, at the end of the day, it's still the Portuguese champions, which all credit to them. But that's not where you test yourself. Like, you test yourself in the next stage against Madrid or Liverpool. If you get to the final, then you get to test yourself. But Chelsea have been given, I don't want to call it easy because I don't know how easy Atletico Madrid is, but this path has been not as difficult as others, I would say.
Yeah.
So
you know the problem.
This whole it's the top level. Porto's now the top level. Damn.
Daniel,
Stronger
the
test
problem.
lie ahead, man.
You know the problem. You see, people will fail to admit when we say the truth, people fail to admit it because we live in the world of social media. Sometimes when you say the truth, it can be harsh to some people. It can also be like a truth to some people. Like when they fail to say, "Oh, this person is saying the truth. Let me just accept it." But be like, this person is saying the truth, but do I need to accept it or not? That's where people mentality is. When we say the truth about players, it's not that we're criticizing the players. We don't criticize a player. I don't hate on Mount, but Mount cannot be Chelsea's best player because I've watched Chelsea so many years.
I love
And
when
I've
you
seen
say you don't hate a Mount, bro.
no,
You called
I've
him
watched
brain dead.
I've watched Chelsea so many years.
Didn't you call him a
So
bastard? Oh no, I think
so many,
no, he called
so
Lampard a
many
bastard.
years. AJ, so many years that you see when you look at the Chelsea of
He
2004,
did, didn't
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So my problem with Mount is all about people say we're criticizing, yeah, but his decision making has to improve a lot in the final third. Because when you look at those players, you talk about Kylian Mbappé, Phil Foden, Joao Felix, these players, they have higher IQ and they understand, oh, when do I move? When do I pass? When do I shoot? That is called what? Intelligence in football. Do Mason Mount have that intelligence? No. He has it once in a while. Maybe like out of 100%, he have it like 10 or 20%. So will I put my faith on him to give me 80% of every time? No, because it won't perform that level in which I want from a player. So that's not my problem with Mason Mount. We've watched so many players in like Balak, Deco, Mikel, Makelele, so many players of that kind of caliber who perform in a greater height than when we have in this era. So people need to understand that the level of technology has improved, but we need to understand no one is criticizing Mount, and we criticize Mount, we want him to be a better player, not to be the best. I keep saying it. If Chelsea Football Club want to move forward, and this is directly to Roman Abramovich himself, not the board. This is directly to Roman. If truly you love Chelsea Football Club and wants to move forward, stop this foolish proper youth team agenda. We've seen this scenario before. World class team, world class player wins your trophy, not a youth players. I'm sorry, Roman. It doesn't work that way because this team has we have elite players in team that has won us trophies. But you cannot be telling me Tammy Abraham, Rhys James, Messi Mount. I don't want to hear that. Those are not level players that can win us trophies. Please, I'm sorry. Because if you want to compare, there are so many comparisons that I can bring out. Winning trophies are different than winning the Premier League that are different than winning the Champions League. Roman literally sacked so many managers to win the UCL. Look at those players we have under those years. The 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8 to like 12 when we won the UCL. So we're not comparing this player to the player we have now. Messi Mount, Abraham, Rhys James, Jorginho, Bakayoko, Drinkwater. What the hell is what the hell is going on with that team? What's going on? That's stupidity, man.
Look, that guy has to change his name, man.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
A guy called Chelsea had a guy called Drinkwater.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. Roman himself look at the mirror and understand what the hell am I doing in this club? What's going on? That's because it's becoming stupidity now. It doesn't make any sense.
For me, like I'm just like
Marina.
No. You can't attack me and hate me because I want to see the very best players play for Chelsea. Like seeing Zola, Drogba, Hazard, all these kinds of guys, the very, very best crop of the crop.
William.
It's like,
William.
yeah. So the best of the best. So so guys, we have to talk Werner, man.
Wait, just before you go, Werner.
Yeah.
Just on the point Daniel was making before. If you're a Chelsea fan who celebrated getting Porto when the draw was made, I don't want to see you celebrating when Chelsea beat Porto, because you knew Porto was the easiest tie. You knew Chelsea could beat Porto. So why the hell are you now celebrating a 2-0 win when you're going, oh, we've done the greatest thing since 2012? No. You knew why you wanted Porto, because they were beatable. Atletico, I get that. You didn't want Atletico, cool. Porto, if you celebrated getting Porto, forget it. That's why I called Porto bums. I'm not going to sit here celebrating 2-0 win one, which was a poor performance. You got the 2-0 win. Simple. We ride.
Eddie,
Celebrate it.
Eddie, you said this something that it makes me laugh. You know why it makes me laugh? That what you said, now you need to address it to that man here, the show in that show here. Because last year he said it, I want Bayern. He get like a crafted at the bridge and an alliance. This year he went to Porto, he kept his mouth shut. He's not saying anything anymore. That question you just said, now you need to direct it to him because he's the co-host of the show. You talking, you. Last year you said I want Bayern. We get like a crafted and get beaten up.
I didn't say
No.
anything.
We get beaten up.
Wait, you're talking about? I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
This year you say you don't want Porto, but you get Porto. You're like,
I didn't say anything last year. I didn't say anything. I didn't know what you're talking about.
I don't want to jinx this thing. I'm
Yeah,
going
don't
to
talk.
and I don't want that.
Look, Daniel, talk, man. Might miss your mic, my friend.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, when the draw came or when the draw happened,
Yeah.
a lot of people were saying Chelsea are in the semifinal because they just discarded Porto immediately. Now that Chelsea are beating Porto like you thought they would, to Eddie's point, now all of a sudden it's the greatest thing that's ever happened. So you can't have your cake
it doesn't
and
work
eat
like
it.
that. Yeah,
You can't have your cake and eat it. So
doesn't work like that. So because we need to just talk Werner. So let me just get through this. So from Natsa, who says, slap a price tag. Thank you for the dub, Natsa, who says, slap a price tag on Grealish, Foden, and Mount.
Foden is like
120.
100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over
Due to
100.
age, 100,
Yeah.
110,
Grealish is maybe 70, 75.
78, 70, 75.
And I'm thinking this is an English team to an English team.
If it's an English team to an English team, you might as well put Foden at 150.
Yeah.
You might as well put Foden at 150, bro.
And Mount, I'd put, I mean, the way the media gas him, he's probably like 60, 65.
Yeah, 65. Yeah.
It doesn't
I wouldn't
want-
pay
it doesn't
that
want
much,
it.
but that's
He
probably
doesn't
his
want
value.
it.
So I'd say like
Abdullahi,
Mount-
how many
I'd-
English
I'd-
players are worth what they're sold for?
I'd say Mount 60. Well,
Yeah.
look, if Declan Rice was going for like 70, then
Yeah, Mount has to
might
be
be like
good for
75, 80.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe,
So-
I think
And
English
English
tax?
Foden like 110. Yeah, like the English tax is a bit wild.
so basically eat. If you add eat, which is English added tax, his eat for Mounts, you have to look at least 80 to 85 if you consider eat. So yeah, 80 for Mounts, 100 for Grealish, 130, 140 for Foden. Junior Aziz says Mount is 22, not a young player. Google his stats; they are poor. Sancho just turned 21. Kindly Google his stats for the past 4 years. Absolute phenom. Now, let me first say this: Sancho is actually one of my favorite players to watch, and for me, he's a far better player than Mount. But to quote Daniel Tillock, he might have Bundesliga tax. So these stats are based off him playing in the Bundesliga. So would Mount be as good as Sancho in the Bundesliga? I think not, because I just think Sancho is a superior player. But we have to put that into account. Would Sancho be as good if he was in the Premier League?
How many goals did Mount score when he was at Vitesse?
Like 15 maximum. That's
How much-
I don't even know if he made 15. Hold on.
I'm not sure how much your level decreases going from like Eredivisie to Bundesliga. So if 18, 19-year-old Mount can score 15 goals in Eredivisie, put him in Bundesliga, he's getting at least 10, 12.
14 goals.
Yeah. Now some of those were probably penalties, but either way.
And lastly, from Yasser's side, who says, imagine Chelsea do all this work, go through Porto, and they lose to Real Madrid in the semis and gunshots outside top 4. Poetic justice.
That's what's probably going to happen. So Half will get his semis minimum, a year delayed, and Chelsea are going to be under the top 4 because they hired Lampard. It's pretty much that simple.
Can I just say one thing right now? If, let's say, my worst nightmare happens and Chelsea don't win the Champions League and they finish outside of the top 4, Chelsea in the Europa League will be very hard. That'll be very hard to take, man.
Right, it's terrible for the transfer season this year as well.
How are we going to do this podcast? We do it Thursdays, Eddie on Friday. Won't there be games before
They
this,
begins right before the podcast.
playing in Romania,
Daniel.
Uzbekistan.
Daniel, the fact that your mind went there is pretty effed up, man.
Azerbaijan, Karabakh.
Karabakh.
So basically, we'll have to have a show. We have to have a show dedicated to a previewing carrier bag. And what is carrier bag's defensive setup?
Okay. Europa League is actually not even bad next year. There's your Euro Conference League or something like that.
Yeah.
And Chelsea could still drop to that.
Chill.
Imagine playing a Conference League. You don't even get to go
yeah,
Spain.
yeah.
Even my complicated self will not allow you to.
No. As in, guys, like I think we will have to reconsider this show. If Chelsea end up with Europe, guys, it's been a good run.
We did it for a season.
we give you guys a year of real content. We'll give you some
Lampard
laughs.
was good vibes.
Guys, man, if Chelsea the Europa, guys, good luck in your future endeavors.
But the most funny part about it, even if we go to Europa, we win it every year we go to it. It's not that bad.
I'll be lucky. I'm not.
That's the reason why I don't want to go there.
Yes, I'm not jumping
That's
up
the
on
level
Lampard
Chelsea
Europa
Football
League.
Club is at the moment.
Like, okay, just quickly. I know we want to get to Werner, but why is the reward for winning the Champions League and winning the Europa League the same thing? Like, you get into the Champions League. Shouldn't if you win Europa League, you get into Europa League? Like,
isn't Champions League as well the Club World Cup? Don't
True.
you get into that as well?
Club World Cup, yeah, Club World Cup.
all right, okay, that's fair. I didn't.
Yeah.
Those competitions nobody cares about.
No, and also, I mean, I don't like that reward of if you win the Europa League, you go straight into the Champions League wherever you are in your league.
You'd rather be Manchester United than Chelsea, or
Yeah.
maybe Arsenal than Chelsea.
Yeah.
Arsenal are 10th in the league, or maybe 9th now. But they probably have an easier path to Champions League than Chelsea do, because Chelsea have a tough domestic schedule.
Yeah.
And then they have to go through Madrid, Liverpool, and any of the other three that come through the other side of the draw. So I don't know, guys. Thursdays.
Man. Or it could be like, like I don't know what the Conference League theme is or something. It's like a remix. Timo Werner.
What's the position that you have to finish in the?
I think
conference?
seventh.
Seven.
That's still possible.
And then there's a new rules now. I think the rules has changed. If either Liverpool, I don't know, if Liverpool wins the UCL and maybe let's say Chelsea finish on fourth, we're going straight back to Europa League. Liverpool is going to Champions League.
Yeah. I know that rule. I know that.
Yeah.
I know that.
So it's a must. It's a must. Liverpool.
That's what
doesn't win
happened
the UCL.
with
because if Liverpool wins that UCL,
Chelsea
we
did that
gain
to
shit
Tottenham.
back. We gain shit back to Europa League. So.
That's
So
what
wait, so
Chelsea
look.
did to Tottenham in 2012.
Let's
Timo Werner.
Timo Werner, man.
How much was he again? 40?
Can I
40 mil.
just put something out there?
45.55 minutes. That's like.
I mean,
Can I put something out there? I want to put something out there to you guys. I want to
in
say
terms of Marina's mistakes.
no.
Dan.
Daniel, this is no, Daniel. I'm going bigger. Can we put Timo Werner based off first season? Top 5 worst major transfers in Premier League history.
No.
Probably not.
Top 5. You got Fernando Torres,
Okay.
Andy Carroll. That was 35 million to Liverpool, I think.
Alisa Balaga.
Even Chelsea, he's not even top 5.
The thing is, you're looking at strikers as well. You're looking at strikers as well. Like, bro, there's bare players. Like,
No.
Naby Keita. What the hell did he do at Liverpool in his first season?
Okay,
Fabinho in his first season at Liverpool wasn't even great.
let me fine tune it based off performance. Because guys, I'll keep it real with you.
Ricky Lambert.
Timo Werner is one of like guys. I keep it real. Timo Werner is one of the worst footballers that I've seen in a long time. Where this guy can't control a football.
He has assists though. HH.
They're dumbass assists. This guy can't control
goal
a ball.
Goal contributions help settle down. Man.
I don't give a crap. This guy.
He has more goal contributions than Drogba did in his first season. If you listen to the Twitter guys.
Sorry, go ahead, listen to me. I said this man cannot control a ball.
It's about goals and assists. Don't worry about controlling.
This man cannot control a football. Why are you guys not listening
Goals
to
and
me?
assists, goals and assists.
This guy earns hundreds of thousands. There are people in Nigeria who have to work out in the field 6 a.m. in the morning, work several jobs and so forth, and do not get paid in 6, 7, 8, 10 years what this guy gets paid in a week. This guy gets paid hundreds of thousands a week, and you cannot control a simple ball. You cannot beat a simple man. And my thing about it, and this is what Eddie was saying earlier, that this is German bias. This is worse than with Lampard and Mount, because at least Mount was good. At least Mount could play. But this guy is genuinely trash. So you are enforcing a piece of trash basement player down in the gutter player into the first team. So if you're Giroud or you're Tam, you're like,
Let me out.
like, how can you look at Tuchel in the face? Wait, you are playing this trash ahead of us.
They're both gone, anyways.
Yeah. That's why I tweeted after the game yesterday that if Werner wasn't contractually obligated to start every game, I might say Chelsea could win something. But if he plays every game, they're not winning nothing. If I can drop some G's, they're not gonna win anything.
Eddie, talk to me, man. Werner, man.
Man, I came
Timmy.
last week. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? And I said Werner is not a footballer. Like,
What is he? Track
right.
star?
He's a kid from Germany, man, with
track
blonde hair.
I don't know. What else does he do? Does he do music or something?
Actually,
He should
probably
find
shouldn't
another
say that,
career
actually.
and just
It's politically incorrect.
find something to do, man. The guy shouldn't be on a football
Do you guys
field.
think that
Like,
there's a player in there?
No.
Like, do you think with coaching or time or something that there's a player there that's worth
no.
salvaging or rescuing?
Wait. I'll tell you this though.
There is.
No. Like the very fact that Nagelsmann did what he did with him, I believe that there is. It's
There
just
is.
that he needs to be in the perfect kind of environment and
that's
system and
lovely.
situation to work. And my thing is that you do not deserve the right for an entire team to change their setup just to accommodate you.
Yes.
Because you're not Messi, you're not Cristiano.
Gotcha.
So we're not going to say, oh, let's get a Poulsen type striker. Let's copy the same system that Red Bull Leipzig play, and let's play you in a very exact way. That's no.
Let's
Figure
buy
it out.
Poulsen. Yeah, like
If we give you the ball, do something with it. We can't recreate the exact same situation that Leipzig is just to get the best out of you, because no, you're not
when
worth
you buy
it.
something expensive and it doesn't come with batteries. It's really like I bought something recently and it required batteries, and normally the people put batteries inside of the thing. Like even like if you buy like a TV or something and you need the remote, they usually put batteries inside the packaging.
Yeah.
Some people don't put batteries inside the packaging, and that's the most annoying thing. You would buy Werner and you're like, oh, I got this great thing, but I need batteries. Like, how does this thing work? So you need Poulsen or a player like that. Like, you have to. It has to batteries in. Like, what's the thing? You know, when there was like commercials when you were a kid. Batteries not included. I need my batteries included, and that's Poulsen, I guess, or just the system. I don't know. But
No. That's really okay. That always really annoyed me.
Werner is like a good toy, but he
Bastards.
doesn't work, and you need other things to make him work. And it's the most annoying thing about him.
No, I mean there is a good player you can salvage there, man. Someone in the chat said Werner should play right wing back. Jesus.
Hey,
Thank you very much for
The
sharing that.
thing is,
put it this
the
way.
thing
Put it
is-
this way.
hold
Just-
on,
just
hold
a
on,
quick- Eddie, quickly.
hold on. Yeah.
Callum Hudson-Odoi is playing right back. Why? Or right wing back. Why? Because Tuchel said he didn't even know that Hudson-Odoi hadn't played wing back before. He went to training. Oh, he's fast. Let's put him on the wing. Timo Werner, even Mason Mount would probably be better on the right wing or as a right wing back than Callum Hudson-Odoi. Werner, I think he might actually work. If all you have to offer is pace, you might as well just run
Yeah,
and
but
patrol that
he
flank
can't-
and let
he can't cross
somebody
the ball
who
to
actually
save
has
his life.
technique play in that half space like Callum Hudson-Odoi. It actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but he can't cross the ball anyway. So what's the point? Nah, but
The
in
person
terms
who's
of
there now can't cross it.
yeah,
Reece James crossing is pretty.
Yeah. I mean, who's he crossing to? But that's the thing. But what I'll say is there is a player in there, but he's not a player built for Chelsea, and in some ways, I want to say he's not a player built from the Premier League. But when I think about it, can you imagine? And I'm not saying he would go there and bang 40 goals a season, but can you imagine Timo Werner in Man City?
Yeah,
he could thrive at Man City.
Although they have a lot of tap-ins, Eddie, and are we
that's
confident
what I'm
Werner can
saying.
score tap-ins?
If all he has to do is score tap-ins for the whole season,
I'm not.
he can get you 20, 25 goals.
Oh no.
Did you not see the North Macedonia game, Eddie?
No, Daniel. Yeah, yes, the North Macedonia game happens. Yeah, but the thing is, the volume of chances he will get at Man City.
I hear you.
The volume of chances he'll get at Man City is more than what he will ever get at Chelsea.
Yeah.
So if you want Man City, he can easily get 25, 30 Gs, and everyone's propping him on to be this greatest thing. Whereas it's about the supporting cast. Similar to what happened at Leipzig. It was about the players around him, not about Werner. But that's what people still aren't trying to understand. It's people are looking at Werner like the guy to be the main guy. Like he should be like a Haaland or something. He's never going to be that guy.
He's a player to Cavani, by the way. I just remembered.
He's a player who needs a supporting cast around him to give him a volume of chances. Because even at Leipzig, yes, he's got all those goals, but if you look at the volume of counter attacks he had and the volume of chances he got, his efficiency was probably at 25 to 40%, which is pretty bad. But he got those chances and was able to use them. So there is a player there, but right now,
Eddie, you're talking about City, and I'm looking and watching. Manchester City has technical player. Please tell me what technique, like my HH can you give me a technique what Limolena has? I want to know, please.
I don't believe this.
Pace and power.
Whatever's on the screen, I don't believe it.
Daniel, that's it. 2020.
What's your source?
That's how much Chelsea plays.
Who's your source, my friend? I said, who's your source? Where's the source from?
This is fake. What the hell?
That's it.
Conte is getting paid 290. He's the highest paid.
Yeah, he's on like 2.
I don't know what the hell he goes on again. That's what I saw.
So
Eddie's talking about technical player.
That's a slave wage for Conte, considering all he does for the team. If Werner or Pulisic are getting paid more than him, given what he's asked to do for the team, they're robbing him.
You know how much that is? So let's say Kante is defending. He's in midfield. He's going to open at everything.
And you're going to give Ben Chilwell more money than him? Are you sick?
That's his slavery. That's his racism. That's his racism.
So I can't believe that. I'm sorry, Abdul.
It is Chelsea though. It is Chelsea though.
HH is not true from. They gave Conte a raise, I think, just before Hazard.
Are you
left.
sure?
It's 250.
Yeah.
Eddie, have you seen his skin tone? Eddie, have you seen his skin tone? Are you sure? Are you sure that was a real raise? Talk. I'm like talk.
So when
wait, Abdullahi, before you continue, to play striker at Man City, it's not you. I disagree with the notion that you need to have this amazing technique and stuff like that. Like the fact that you've seen Pep use false nines like your Sterlings or players like that doesn't mean he can't work with an out and out striker. Because if you watch Man City the way they play, if you give him an out and out striker, they'll do bits. All they need is you stay there, make runs. When the ball comes, finish. That's all we need to do.
Okay, good. You said that. I agree. But look at the way Pep Guardiola plays. We know Pep Guardiola doesn't like flashy raw player. Look at the way he play with technical player. Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling, Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden. Those are technical players who are high skill. Who are this?
Question.
The opponent knows when I want to make pass. He knows when the player make runs. Timo Werner will make runs.
Abdullahi. Where was all this technique and stuff that you're talking about when Sterling went to Man City? Are you going to tell me he had the same technique he has right now?
Okay.
Sterling at Liverpool is far better than Werner right now.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's fact.
No, he is. But at the same time, you can't tell me Sterling right now is not like 2-3 times the player he was at Liverpool.
What is there? Okay.
It's clear.
Eddie, I would have to ask you, what is there to work with Werner right now? Outside of just... Speed.
I think he can still finish.
Usain Bolt tried football.
He's lost
if we all
confidence.
remember, it didn't work.
Oh God!
He was in your neck of the woods, wasn't he?
Right now.
So okay, so Eddie,
being fast ain't enough. Like Sterling was fast, but you could see that there was something there. He just needed the right manager to.
The right manager, yes, exactly.
Okay,
I don't know
Eddie,
if the right manager can get something out of Werner.
Eddie,
unless
where is this confidence? No,
it comes
Eddie.
with something else.
You said about confidence. So how do you now inject this confidence into this man so he can start scoring? Like how? Like, is there a confidence shop I can go and buy confidence from?
He needs to be hypnotized. They need like a sports scientist.
Obviously now it's a bit difficult. But look, a change of environment might help sometimes. That's the first thing. If he gets to Man City and he goes, oh, I don't have to work as hard. I don't have to go get the ball from the halfway line and run. All I have to do is sit with the defensive line. Also, you have to look at it like when teams play Chelsea, Werner is one of the players you have to mark because, I mean, Chelsea don't have many players who created nothing. Alonso is usually free for a reason most of the time. Mason Mount, half the time, is usually open. Like, they know who the players that can hurt them are. In Man City, the field's open for you because everyone has to be marked. You have to mark your Sterling. You have to worry about your De Bruyne. You have to worry about your Foden. So he would have more space to play with. I'm not saying he goes there and become world-class. I'm saying, can he be a decent Premier League striker if he goes to Manchester City? Yes. Say what you want about him. He can still finish. If you watch what he did at Leipzig last season, he can still finish. He's got pace. Those are two things that I think Pep can work with and add a bit more to his game. I don't want to talk about the first touch because Jesus Christ.
Daniel, I like the way you brought this up. I want to go back. Let's go back to Chelsea history. We have Shevchenko. We had Drogba. We had Anelka. We had who again? Diego Costa. So look at Costa. Look at Drogba. Look at those. Those are clinical and technical players, and we're built for the EPL and score goals. Hasselbank too. Anelka too can score goals. Please, how on earth the Chelsea Football Club move from those strikers to Timo Werner, Alvaro Morata, and Fernando Torres? I want to know, please, because I don't get how do we move from Didier Drogba, Hasselbank, Torres, what's called Alvaro Morata, then we will move to Timo Werner. I do not understand anymore. I don't get it. I need to blame the scout. Who is actually scouting Chelsea Football Club? Buying players. Are they scouts from Roadman? Or are they watching YouTube link to give us players? Or wait.
YouTube compilations. Wait. It's YouTube comps.
Or are they going out of their crib to go to like team like Azerbaijan, maybe like Karabakh, or where like maybe somewhere in where I'm not even born at, where somewhere like that.
Basically, I'm telling you right now, a scout sat down because he maybe due to COVID, maybe he couldn't be bothered to go through, turned on YouTube, and if he puts a good, nice drum and bass track, puts a player's best goals and so forth. He saw Werner. I was like, wow, maybe this guy can do something.
I told you guys when I watched the Werner comp, it's all just first time finishes. There's no dribbling, there's no skill, there's no step overs, there's no goal you create for yourself. It's all just on a plate. So if the team can create a volume of chances, I guess to Eddie's point from Manchester City, if you create 100 chances for him in a season, if he finishes 25%, which is what a good striker would do, you have 25 goals. If Chelsea only create 50 chances, then 25% of that is what, 12 goals?
Yeah.
Something around there. So I guess you would either have to improve the whole team and the playmaking ability of the team, which is, I guess, why you buy a Ziyech and players of that ilk. But if they don't perform, who's giving Werner the chances? And even then, if he gets the chances and his confidence is so low, there's no guarantee that he scores the ones that he would have scored if his confidence was at a better level. Yeah. So it's a mess.
Because
wait, we have to round up.
Let me just round up something
very quick.
Daniel. I love what Daniel said, and it's HH.
I always love what Daniel said.
Everybody loves me, man. Stop being jealous. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Some people actually hate me in the comments.
Wow, I swear Abdullah and Daniel next door.
No, Daniel, you're actually the most liked. I'm probably the most. Well, I'm naturally the most hated, but it is what it is.
people
Bastard.
hate me when I
I think
say
Eddie's
this.
the most liked out of us.
I think people
his analysis.
Actually,
is
true.
generally- Yeah,
Nobody
his-
ever
his-
says anything bad about. I think Eddie is the most likely. I think it's because Eddie, then maybe Abdullahi, then Daniel, then me. Because I think they say Daniel, they think that you're smug. Sometimes Abdullahi, they think that you
It's true.
talk trash. Eddie just seems to always be on point. And then for me, like, they don't like my takes about white players and Mount and so forth. So they think I'm
Oh
racist.
my god, what the hell?
AJ, you see, when we talk about those players, the strikers we have, people compare Tammy Abraham to Drogba, and I laugh. I said, you don't compare. How should I put this word? When the Drogba first season, when he came from Marseille to Chelsea, it wasn't that good. But he has to. Yes, is it Marseille? Yeah, when he was in, is it Marseille when he was in French?
Yeah, Marcel.
Marseille, yeah, when he came to Marseille to Chelsea, it wasn't that good of a player.
Marseille. I started myself.
Whatever you call it. Whatever you call it.
Marcel.
I don't know what
Whatever,
I'm saying.
whatever you call it. It's still Marseille or Marseille, whatever.
It was like,
So,
who's Marcel? Marcel Desailly?
whatever you call it. I don't know how to pronounce this name. So, whatever you call it. So, when Drogba was in French, when he came to Chelsea, it wasn't that good, but he has to improve as a player. And look at Drogba today. When people compare Tammy Abraham to Drogba, as a fans, I shake my head because there's a levels to that. Drogba improved his game, and before Roma didn't even have trust in him. But Jose Mourinho has to convince Roma to tell him that this is the player we want. And look at Drogba today. So when I say as me, that's my opinion. People may disagree. Me, I prefer Victor Osimhen than Tammy Abraham because he offers
Oh my
more.
god.
Let me talk, Eddie. Let
Man,
me
this
finish.
man has told
He offer.
How
No,
many
no,
times
Eddie.
will you
Oh
bring up
my
this guy?
god, bro.
Wait, look,
Yeah,
Abdullahi, you've told
Abdullahi, I'm sorry.
Wait,
Abdullahi,
when-
bro,
when
next
the
topic.
clock,
Next
when
topic.
the clock,
Bro,
please, okay.
you brought up Osimhen like so. Jesus
God
Christ,
damn.
man.
So,
Let me finish.
guys, not finish it. There is a Callum.Keith update. There's a Callum.Keith update. So, without further
I feel like
ado,
he loves Osimhen, man.
and
He was good.
so
He won a
what do we
penalty
do here?
against
Shit, wait,
Sweden.
wait, have I shared this? What the? Okay, sorry. All right, Callum.Keith updates. Here we go. So,
We should actually hide his identity.
what do you mean?
Well, it's too late now, but you know.
Oh no, he knows though. He already knows that he's a star here.
Cool.
This was after the
Oh god.
the West Brom game. So
Watch how many people are gonna turn green.
I posted a video saying embarrassing loss for Chelsea, and then he replied, "Yup, gets rid of complacency. It's a dip. We'll be back. In a weird way, I now feel up for Porto because we've got rid of potential complacency." He continues, "How you've brought Mount into this is embarrassing, by the way. 3 crying, laughing emojis. The guys turned it around and made you look a fool. I think I feel pretty cool. Move on to the bigger problems in the squad that exist." And this is, of course, after the Porto game. Mount dancing. Thoughts on the star boy? I'm yet to reply to Callum.Keith.
That was calm.
Yes, I think he's being a little bit more respectful now, you know. So, guys, as we always do, man, it's time for us to take it back. And this one, this is a painful one.
Are we doing predictions for next week or?
No,
Who do
Let's-
Chelsea play in the league?
Crystal Palace.
Ooh. That's a win.
That's a draw. That's a draw.
That might be a draw, bro. That
That's
might be
a draw, bro.
Is it Stamford Bridge or Selhurst Park?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think it's away from home. So this is a sad one, but I feel that we have to do this, man. So here's what it is.
Sad.
Motu.
No, it's not, guys. Come on, I'm not that cheap, man. I'm not that cheap. Come on. This is a sad one, man. But
If it's Hazard, oh my god, I was gonna say it's Hazard.
Good guess, Eddie. Good guess.
Anyway, I was like, "What? Who the hell could make HH so sad, man?"
I love, man. I miss this guy, man.
Okay,
I miss this guy, bro.
exposure season. You thought Alexis Sanchez was better than Hazard for a long time.
Yes.
So
Yes.
why and what happened?
Something
know the story.
that you said,
Yeah.
Daniel, which is that Hazard pre that World Cup 2018 was a very talented player that liked the psychology, that liked the true edge mentality. Pass first, refused to take the initiative, was happily just dribbling around in circles. Alexis Sanchez at Udinese, Barcelona, and Arsenal, and Chile 2014, 15, 16 was more aggressive, more decisive, was a game changer, and was much more of a decisive player than Hazard was. World Cup 2018, he changed. He realized that, wait a minute, no. I have to be the guy now. I have the ability, but I now need the mentality, and I need to marry the mentality and character with the insane ability that I have.
So you really only enjoyed one season of Hazard at a particular level.
No.
So the 18-19 season would have been his last season, and that was the season after the World Cup, where you say his flip switch.
You see, Hazard was always a guy where, even when I put Sanchez above him, I was that he was more talented than Sanchez. But Sanchez was just being much more effective. But I knew that as a football player, it's like my whole thing with the Us and the Prodigy. The Us for me is more talented and a better footballer than the Prodigy. But the Prodigy is just far more effective. But the Us is a more talented for footballer. So this talented footballer just had to be much more effective and much more of a decisive guy. But it's like, it is such a good thing having a genuinely superstar player in your team, which is what Chelsea just don't have.
Can I be honest with you? 17 Hazard was better than 10 Hazard.
2017 Hazard.
No, number 17 Hazard was better than number 10 Hazard. For me. This is like the 2013, 2014, I think 2015 season, but maybe not. Because the number 10 would have been... Who was wearing number 10?
You are Mata.
Juan Mata.
Mata.
Yeah.
So it would have been from 15 or so.
From 15, yeah.
From 2015.
From 2015.
From 2016.
So number 17 Hazard was my favorite. Because that was like... Dude, the highlight of him where he sits down Zabaleta from Man City, that's like my favorite.
Wait. Was it number 17 when Coquelin bounced off him?
No, that was number 10.
That was 10.
Number 10.
But yeah, like the left-footed strike against Stoke. Like what younger Hazard was my favorite Hazard because he wasn't yet poisoned with like the Chelsea thing. He was still kind of like young and he was in shape and he was quick and he was dynamic and yeah, he was too good. So, yeah. Plus 15-16, we have to add that into the calculus, and that was like a terrible season. So, and that was him with number 10. So, yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, no. Like, I think because of course I was watching a program and like they were saying how like this defender was saying that Hazard was one of the toughest players he goes up against because of his low center of gravity, And those are always very difficult guys to play. Short players who are very skillful because they can turn very quickly. Hence why Messi is like a nightmare to play. But my thing is that you look at Chelsea now and they are missing someone like a Hazard where, okay, this is a superstar guy that you don't have in your team. It's like your Neymar, your Messi, or so forth. Chelsea don't have that. A player that excites you. And look, as I said again,
William was better.
Look, you can't have any beef with him deciding to leave, man. So it is what it is. So guys, final thoughts on Hazard before we get out of here.
See, I think we should do like maybe a more in-depth thing about Hazard.
Oh, I don't know. It's too depressing, man. I'd like it.
Like
any thoughts on
how he came? Where like because Chelsea won the Champions League,
Yeah.
He could have gone to Spurs, but he didn't.
Or Man City. Could have gone to Man City.
According to Harry Redknapp, it was like a done deal, and then they win the Champions League. I think there was something of like Drogba called Gervinho,
Joko.
and
Joko.
Gervinho was at Lille with Hazard. And Gervinho was like, "Oh no, I'm here with Eden." Drogba's on the phone. He's like, "Nah, Eden, you have to come to Chelsea." And then he accepts. So like Drogba kind of worked that one out.
Oh wow! Thank you,
it's just
Didier.
It's just a bunch of stuff that goes in with it. But I think he cost 32 million as well. Back when footballers were actually like the prices weren't too crazy, even though that's a lot of fucking money. But yeah, man. Would you say because Chelsea didn't win a Champions League with Eden Hazard that it was an underachievement? All things told, like they basically wasted his prime by putting pragmatic managers
and players. Yeah,
like the right team. He was never surrounded with the right team.
His best season, you would say, was with Sarri. At least for me. I mean, obviously you could say 14-15, where he was scoring goals to win the league, but just in terms of his overall play, and maybe that coincides with the World Cup. But what Sarri was able to get out of him, even in his last season, where he wasn't as good, I would say, as he was when he was 2013, 2014, 2015. It makes you think, what happens if he's not given to Mourinho and Conte for a number of years? Probably something, or if you just remember what Di Matteo was doing with like the Oscar Mata Hazard. Imagine if that was allowed to progress. That could have been a very interesting dynamic team. So when I look at this, I'm like, yeah, he was great for Chelsea, because what else could he have been given the talent that he had and the way that he played? But I do feel like Chelsea kind of wasted him, and they should have built a better team.
He didn't have the right team around
necessarily,
him.
But they should have had a better teams of like style of play, because the deepest they got was the 2014 semifinal against Atletico Madrid.
Yeah,
and that was the one. Do you remember the game where he played Mourinho? He had like Azpilicueta on the wing.
Yeah.
It was like Torres, Azpilicueta, Mikel, Ramirez, like that weird lineup.
That's where like Mourinho was like running to them when they scored and kicks like the water bottle.
Czech had he got injured in the first leg, so I think it was Mark Schwarzer who was in goal, or Eddie would know how to pronounce the name, the guy from Australia. So
yeah, Schwarzer.
Yeah, Chelsea should have done. Chelsea should have done better things with Hazard, but. What they got was good, but I think there could have been more on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Sarri season, they could have got a bit more. Oh, snap! My camera's been off the whole time. You look at the camera season, the Sarri season. Chelsea really missed out, because when you saw what Hazard was doing, and you have to understand that a lot of the players in the Sarri season were basically at the start of a transition to a new style of football. Imagine Hazard doing that with players who were already in, that similar mode of football and that similar style. And you have 2 or 3 players also on his level. Man, Chelsea would have been on a different level right now. But I mean, it's
just Eddie quickly. Imagine they had Eden Hazard in his prime. They win a league, and they choose to sign Pedro, Djilabodji, Michael Hector, Baba Rahman. It's like, what did you think would happen with
ramen noodles?
They had a summer where they were Premier League champions. They were there or thereabout in the Champions League. They lost weirdly to PSG in that way. You have prime Hazard for the next 5 years, or what would have been the next 3 or 4. Build something around him. But they thought, Diego Costa will keep going, Fabregas will keep going. Like, build better, and they just didn't. So
exactly.
It's annoying.
I'd like to take us out, man.
Eddie, Daniel, you're talking about that, but do you forget about the recruitment in Chelsea? I keep saying it ever since Michael Emenalo left Chelsea as a director of football. We have been fucked up. Ever since Roman made that decision.
Language. Kids are watching, please. This is
Ever
PG
since
13, Disney Plus.
Emenalo stepped down as the sporting director in Chelsea Football Club, we've moved from 100% back to 0.5%.
I forgot
That's
about
how.
Pato, you know.
That's
They did
how
sign
bad.
Pato.
We even sign Falcao. My God in hell.
Yeah. The shit that Chelsea with Falcao, Alexandra Pato. What are y'all doing?
Yeah, no. Chelsea wasted a lot of money, man. Because I was never a big Falcao fan. Even when I did speak, I was never a big Falcao fan. So when they got Falcao,
Even
I'm
with
also Pato
Conte,
as well.
The amount of money Conte spent to play the type of football that he did was not worth it if you're trying to get the best from Hazard and ostensibly the team. So when I look at Hazard, I think Hazard did the best that he probably could have done given the circumstances, but there should have been Champions Leagues. He came because Chelsea won the Champions League. So he had 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 7 seasons, and the best they got was a semifinal. Some seasons they didn't even qualify for Champions League. He has 2 Europa Leagues. That's a disgrace.
That's massive downgrade. Massive. Because
You don't leave Leo to win Europa Leagues.
yeah. Actually, because we talked about Chelsea this, Chelsea that, but we need to look at the structure himself. That's why I said the man anchoring Chelsea Football Club, Roman, needs to look himself in the mirror, be like, yes, I can understand Emmanuel want to step down, but can you, HH, and maybe the panel can tell me, what footballing brain does Granaskia has to become the sporting director? I want to know. What footballing brain does he have?
Business is all about the business, man. And Roman likes her. It is what it is, man. Roman likes her, businesswoman, and that's the situation that Chelsea find themselves in, man.
Because every manager that comes in, we put them on pressure. You have to win the Premier League. You have to win the UC. You have to win this. Please, if you want to win that, you have to give them a player for them to win. Hazard leaving Chelsea after the year we won the Europa League was a BS to Chelsea board, because we know how talented this player could be, how talented of a player he is. He said his dream is to go to Madrid. We understand that. But in his peak, what player do you give Hazard for him to thrive on? I can let go of Juamata, Oscar, Kevin De Bruyne, Mo Salah. I can let go of that. But can you explain to me DJ Leboti, Baba Rahman, Michael Hector? How I want to play? I want to know, what is Marina? Marina herself, what's she thinking? Because I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe she went to Google or went to YouTube and say, "Oh, Roman, this player is better, but let's play this player with this player. We can make money." I want to understand, because you can't bring a businesswoman to a footballing sporting management for her to anchor in a team. It doesn't go well. We'll fail. That's what we've been going down ever since she took over the club. We look at Man City, Abu Dhabi. We can say of the Abu Dhabi. Look at how one they are. Look at Madrid. Look at how one they are. Marina Granaskia is the one anchoring Chelsea. We're going down instead of us going up. We sack manager every year. What causes it? Because we lack technical brain in footballing aspect in Marina Granaskia. Who doesn't know what she's doing? Who doesn't know? We praise her when she does stupid things, selling Hazard for 150, selling Barkley, give her. But when she make mistake, we don't talk. That's BS for me.
That's why she still has a
That's
job.
a BS for me. It doesn't make any sense.
How many times?
Look, this was supposed to be about Eden Hazard, and looking back at Eden Hazard, this was not supposed to be a rant on a lady called Marina, but it is what it is.
But it's annoying. Look at the midfield we have under Marina. As a Chelsea, it hurt my feelings.
Abdullahi.
Wait.
No. There's no weight. There's no weight.
Drink water.
There's no weight. This is Hazard.
On the head.
We're talking about Hazard here. Talk about Hazard.
But have hope. Drinkwater was signed. Drinkwater was signed with Hazard. Imagine if they spent that 35 million on somebody who could have actually helped him.
Oh no! Like, that is the most annoying thing, like, because people always clamor by saying, "Oh, Hazard, he never won a Champions League, never chose." And I say, how come Hazard never did something in the Champions League? That's because trash was around him.
They had the choice basically between Mahrez. Do you remember when Mahrez was twerking for everybody because he didn't want to be at Leicester anymore? So he did this thing where, like, he went to a London hotel on transfer deadline day and was just there. And Manolo wanted to sign Mahrez, so I'm told. But Conte wanted a midfielder and Marina sided with Conte and signed Drinkwater from Leicester instead of Morris because they were willing to sell one but not both. So those are the kind of decisions where I think, imagine if Hazard actually had another guy on the other side, a left-footed player who's another baller, not in the sense of Willian, who's just there to just kind of run and do work.
So basically, so if you had like Hazard and Mahrez in the same team,
but that's even too late because that's 2017, 2016 summer perhaps.
Yeah.
That's too late. They needed to do more work before then. And some of that blame goes on Mourinho, but the larger structure of the board, I think they just didn't get the best from Hazard. But
So guys, just final call, man. FC Porto Tuesday. Do FC Porto come back, or do Chelsea finish the job with their Mount hat trick?
They better win. They better win.
Chelsea finished the job, man, because you can already see Tuchel playing the same five at the back. You probably won't see the wing backs attack as much. You'll see the two midfielders sit. Chelsea are probably going to defend with like 7 players, and that's it. Game sealed. You see Werner play again because Chelsea are going to look to hit Porto on the counter because Porto have to come out and attack this game.
If Porto score first, it's dangerous, though, Eddie.
True.
Sorry?
If Porto get the first goal.
It's dangerous.
Especially on an early goal. If they get an early goal.
You don't think so? Like
not really.
You're never worried, even if they get two?
If Porto, if they get two, then Jesus Christ. We're looking at another Juventus. My goodness. But if they get the first goal, no, not really. Again, it depends. It depends when they get the first goal. If it's a goal within the first 10 minutes, then my Lord in heaven, everybody should be worried. But if they score maybe at the end of the first half or just 60 minutes into the game, because they have to come out and attack, all Chelsea needs to do is sit back. All Chelsea needs to do is sit back, hit them on the counter, which is what I'm saying. Werner is going to play. You're probably going to see Pulisic play. Lord knows where Hudson-Odoi is. We would like to see him, but I don't know. So it's Werner and Pulisic and probably Havertz on the counter because Giroud is missing somehow as well. And Chelsea look to hit them on the counter. That's what it is. That's why I said once they got the second goal, the tie was sealed because that goal basically cemented.
That was a key goal.
That was
I still think that anything can happen though, but still.
Get out of here.
No.
He's trying to reverse psychology.
No. Okay, guys, look.
AJ, where's the bottle? Where's the bottle?
Where's
the bottle?
No, I threw it away. Guys, no.
I had the bottle here. I was gonna pop it.
I need to go and eat. I'm hungry. Because when you speak, you'll start insulting Mount.
I'm not insulting anything.
Okay, please, just quick. Round off. I need to go and eat.
Yeah, we should win on Tuesday. I don't want any excuse, any rubbish. Yeah, and this is what I want to say to Tuchel. I repeat myself, Tuchel, I do not want to see Limolena play that match, please.
I said that I said I don't want a rant here.
No. I'm not ranting. I'm just giving Timolena a side warning and Tuchel. Don't play that guy. Just let him have some rest. And on Tuesday, we just have to win. That's it.
Daniel, any final words, man, before I can go and eat?
No. I'm hungry too. So,
what are you gonna have for dinner? May I ask? Or is that a bit too private? Oh,
the chicken.
Wait, you're absolutely right. How do you do that?
You and your people are very fond or something like that. The chicken.
Look, my Dave Chappelle, man. Actually, I might watch some Chappelle show tonight. Actually, guys, peace out. Actually, no, I'm going to watch City of God tonight for the first time. Peace out.
Ooh.
And I've never seen it before. Yes, I've never seen.
You know
City
what
of God
happens?
before.
Okay.
I know nothing that happens. I know nothing. Say nothing. I literally know nothing about the film. So I'm going to prepare a meal and watch City of God for the first time tonight. Peace out. Stay true. One love.
All right, peace, people.